Hello, folks. It's Saturday afternoon, and we got a very special impromptu live stream here on World Class Bullshitters. So, as you guys know, we have a Patreon page, and there's all kinds of perks. You know, you guys can get t-shirts, stuff like that. But the best perk is that you can suggest an episode that we do here on the channel. So, our friend, Army Vet Rod, or Sketch Therapy, however we're going to refer to him today, he had a really great idea for a video that you're about to watch right now. This is a live stream that was of his doing. He got the guests together himself, and we have a really great topic to discuss. So, Rod, instead of me trying to explain it to the fans, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what's up today?
Hi, how you guys doing? People call me Army Vet Rod. I'm on Twitter as Cyberfrog Fan Art, and I'm just a regular guy. I'm just a fan, right? Fan is a customer, right? So as customers and fans, sometimes we're seeing a lot of bad news and not a lot of good news. And sometimes it's hard to find positive things to something to smile about, something that'll get you a little bit motivated. So what we're trying to do here is look at some fan films, and some of them are funny, some of them are just well made, and some of this, you're gonna see, wow, there's good stuff out there. They've been doing it wrong, but I can find good things to watch, good things to see. I wanted to talk a little bit about our friend here, Mike S.Miller. He's an artist. He's a comic book artist. He did the Injustice comics. He did the Game of Wars comics, and that's him right there. And we also have Ivan Ortega, and he's been doing like an editing. He's a professional editor. He's been on some big films, but he's doing his own edit. And I wanted to, kind of bring these communities together, that as a customers and fans, you guys don't know that we might not just watch movies. We might also read comics and also play games. So from a fan perspective, we're seeing a lot of the stuff we like, under siege. We're seeing this attack from a different angle than other people, than the people that are in the industry. So I always appreciate people like Jeff, who protect my pocket by giving honest reviews. People like Ivan, who show us another way to look at what's there and maybe change it up a little bit and give a little bit of credence to these the fan films and the passion that they have. There's no that we're just regular people, passionate. We're not, some monolithic, thing that wants. We're not white supremacists. We're not hateful people at all. If you look at us, we are really diverse, inclusive, compassionate, and kind. They just want to paint us like we're some just monolithic dicks. That's not the truth. And I wanted to just make it for the fans. Watch fan films and talk a little bit about what's really been going on. I also wanted to plug Ivan's Patreon. He's a really good guy. He's usually too humble to ask for money, so I'm going to do that for him.
I hate you.
and I want to talk to Mike, who's a really good salesman and can probably give his Lone Star pitch better than me. So let's start with you, Mike. Talk to us a little bit about Lone Star and this project you got going.
Okay. Well, Lone Star is my personal pet project. I've got it up on Indiegogo right now at lonestarcomic.com. It's basically like Captain America means supernatural. It's is that a Cecil reference? So basically, he was an airman in the Navy in World War II. He was a special he was in a corps of special pilots who had these really advanced jets and they were tasked with taking out the German Übermensch who was taking over Europe for Hitler, and they took him down. Lone Star gets mortally wounded in the process and is given the opportunity to undergo a procedure that could save his life and grant him extraordinary abilities. But he would have to basically disappear. He would be marked killed in action, and he would enter a program called the Unknown Soldiers. And the Unknown Soldiers are a band of 6, never more, never less, soldiers who had fallen in wars and were given this opportunity. And their job in the dark of night is to hunt and destroy the creepy crawlies of the world, the vampires and goblins and who's-its and what's-its. And But since that's sort of a emergency responder for monsters gig, he spends a lot of his, well, they spend a lot of their time on downtime, just waiting for actionable intel. And so he has this innate drive in him because of the tragedy of his youth that he can't waste these powers and abilities just waiting for things to happen. So he goes out and protects the innocent in the dead of night.
Inspiring. I like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
What do they do in the daytime? They drink a lot of beer, smoke a lot of cigars, and play a lot of poker.
Regular dudes.
Yeah.
So now let's talk a little bit about Ivan. Ivan is way too humble. I don't know if he understands the way of the prophet, but you got to sell it, man. And, I like the way that world-class bullshitters is like a dollar goes a long way. $5 is how much a day?
17 cents a day.
17 cents a day. So hook a brother up. Our friend Ivan here, he's going to tell us a little bit about Ivan Ortega's channel and, how he teaches us a little bit about how Premiere works, a little bit about what you need to look out for in trailers. How do you sell a trailer correctly? Lighting, music, how it's used to an effect. And just like the power of film and how it can be used correctly and how it could just be, cluster if done wrong.
Jesus, I'm blushing. Anyways, so yeah. Well, my name is Ivan, and I'm a film editor. I've been editing for about 8 years, I would say. It's close to 9 actually, and I've done from music videos to movies that have premiered on TV1, BET, documentaries, you name it. But The Last Jedi came out, and it was a special case because as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is not just a bad movie, but it's an insult to editing because of the pacing, the music, the continuity errors. It looks so amateur, and then I saw the divide on people, and I kind of got inspired to re-edit the movie for the Star Wars community, but also I wanted to do it in a way that you see tutorials on YouTube all the time, tutorials about how to make a flash effect, how to make a time lapse, all of these tutorials on how to use the program, but
not the why.
Excuse me?
A lot of how to do it, but not a lot of why to do it. Why do you do this here? Why does the music need to do this? That stuff, it was a little lacking, you saw.
Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't really come across a YouTube tutorial that teaches you how to build a story or how to build tension. Like, there's plenty of people that say, okay, we need tension in this scene because otherwise it suffers. But I wanted to show people how to do it, and what better way than starting with an insult to editing, which is Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Excellent. Excellent. I like that. I love all this stuff. And you guys already know Jeff, so I'm going to plug him a little bit because, I want to give my perspective. Like I said before, as a fan, I need that person that protects my pocket. And protecting my pocket is about, telling me the truth. Is this movie good or bad? Is the story bad? This is important, right? Because going out to the movies nowadays is not cheap. If you're going out on a date, you got to buy some food. You're going to, you understand? I mean, you might have, it's usually dinner and a movie, right? Or a movie and dinner, which I think works better. So you have something to talk about during the dinner. My point is, you're spending $50 to $100, right? Maybe more. Right. And if these fake reviewers are just they're brown nosing these big corporations for perks, that's great for them. But that doesn't help my pocket. Right. So from the fan perspective, I always try to promote honest reviewers. It's very important to the fan, to the customer that I go out and not waste my time or have these people blowing smoke up my, whatever. It's I don't appreciate. I used to follow a lot of channels like that, and they built gates and walls around their communities, and if you didn't agree, you were just kicked out. And that's happened in comics. It's happened in games, and it happens in movies. And I just wanted to highlight the people that are honest reviewers, the people that are creators that are open to the feedback loop. So it lets you know that you can invest in this product because it may not be perfect, but the person has their ears open. They're gonna always try to improve it and listen, keep their ear to the ground and know what's up. You know, like, oh, this was good, this was bad, so let's work with it, right? And I also wanna, I commend fan projects, indie projects, fan projects, and when you have a little bit of a professional take on things that are out there, well, I appreciate. So, and people want to learn, they want to get into it. So that's why I also wanted to bring Ivan into this, because he knows a little bit about fan films, and that's what we're doing today. This is about Star Wars fan films, and we're going to get into some fan films, some old ones, some new ones, some funny ones, some serious ones, and that's what this is all about.
Well, I'm excited to do the fan films because everyone tells me to watch them, and I never remember to when I have a little bit of free time. So this is going to be a nice change of pace for me before tonight.
Things got a little hectic for you?
Oh, dude, the way the channel's been going, I have shit every single day constantly to do. So I'm glad you picked today to do this because there's not really an open spot for a little while. So I'm just glad everyone was able to do this right now.
That's good for me because my Indiegogo ends in 2 weeks.
Okay, so
I forgot when I was mentioning it. There's a 10-page preview on the Indiegogo if you guys want to check it out. Again, LoneStarComic.com.
Maybe Jeff could help us out a little bit and drop the link in the chat for.
Yeah, no problem. By the way, I was Googling your artwork just because I knew the Injustice stuff, but I was looking up some other stuff. Man, this is great work.
Thank you. I appreciate.
I like the cleanliness of a lot of the style, of a lot of the stuff too. And you did the Game of Thrones covers.
I do the covers for all of the Game of Thrones comic books.
Man, those are great. I'm looking at the one. I've never seen the show, but there's two knights fighting. These are great looking.
Thanks. Here, I put up some stuff just for you.
Awesome.
Okay, so it's LoneStarComics.com.
Lone Star Comic, singular.
Oh. Lone Star Comic, okay.
There we go. On Indiegogo.
That goes right to the Indiegogo.
Well, I'll post this in the chat real quick before we start our our fan films. We had a couple super chats pop up, which I cannot ignore. So first off, from Mareth Dialine, it says, "The Negotiator, General Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker. I was expecting someone with your reputation to be a little older, Jedi scum." Sorry, I can't do his voice off the top of my head. I haven't seen episode 3 in about a year. So, Logan Michael 69, thank you. Last night I met Greg Sestero from The Room. Ooh,
that's what's up.
The Room is better than The Last Jedi. I just want to say that right now.
I agree 100%, dude.
I mean, The Room achieved this thing. The Room makes The Last Jedi makes the Room look like, I don't know, Casablanca or something like that. I mean, and as far as sequels, oh my God, it's so bad. It makes episode 2 look like Godfather 2. if you're judging sequel to sequel, it's such a bad sequel that it just elevated all of the prequels.
Oh, I know, dude. I know. Believe me, I have these thoughts almost every day.
Well, we got to use that energy, that little bit of like that anger, and just point it at something good. I'm gonna start with Troops. Troops is an old fan film, and it goes over the what happened to Luke's family, and it's kind of like, these things happen. These are stormtroopers responding to a domestic disturbance at the Owen farm.
Those are 20 years old. I just remember that was like 1998.
Yeah,
well, we have some younger fans in the audience that might not have checked it out, and I wanted to go with a little bit of a, how shall we say, started off with a couple of chuckles because it does have some comedic overtones in there. I wanted to give a quick shout out to the Carbonite chat. This is a place where I first started getting into fan films, because I've been around for a couple of years, but I had never seen this. And he brought a lot of good fan films to my attention. He does some very in-depth reviews. He's very analytical, and I just appreciate his work. So shout out to the Carbonite chat if you're out there, and you guys check him out too. He's a very honest reviewer, and that's always something that's necessary.
Well, Rod, before we start, we had a few more people pop up. First off, from Mark C. Thank you, Mark. Ivan, I just watched your The Last Jedi ending. It left me crying in a good way.
And that's exactly like that's exactly why I've watched that goddamn movie 59 times. Because I want to be able to give you guys, the experience that at least we deserve at the very least. Like I wish I could have just done the entire movie and kick Ryan Johnson back to school, but at least, I can give you guys something, and those type of comments are what makes it worth it.
Well, he's more a plagiarist than a director.
Well, yeah.
He's something. And then finally, we had Edward Antonowitz say, Jeff, have you ever read... Sorry, not finally, but Jeff, have you ever read the Jedi Academy trilogy? I have not. I apologize that I'm not as well-versed in the EU as I should be, but folks, don't worry, because Wednesday night at 9 p.m., we're going to have a group of EU experts on. I'll be getting the final emails out today, tomorrow morning, and it'll be here on the channel, so you guys can have your questions ready for people to discuss the Star Wars expanded universe in the way I think you guys deserve.
Oh, that's great.
Zaire says 12 parsec stare, please. And then Sierra Whiskey 186 says Lone Star Squadron represent number 291.
Excellent. Excellent. Love that.
Yeah, everybody who supports the Lone Star is a member of the Lone Star Squadron. So
excellent. I love that. We're gonna get into troops now. For you guys at home, all you fans, if there's some reviewers and some pros out there, I want you guys to look up troops. This is on YouTube. Everything we're gonna watch is on YouTube. You don't need to pay any service. You don't have to. All you have to do is have a YouTube, and just pop up a second window and look at this, or listen on your phone and watch it on your screen. And this is, if you Google it, it's going to say Troops. The version I have is on theforce.net. That's the channel. They have 1,127,000 views on this. So, this has been around for a while. It's a quick 10-minute videos. We're going to watch it and talk a little bit about it when it's done, and then go into another one. This is a format, so you guys, it's going to be real easy for you guys to follow along at home, and it's really going to be very easy for you guys to find this. So, you guys try to sync up. Did you find it?
Yep, I'm ready.
You're ready? Ivan, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, Mike, you ready?
yeah, the first one,
Troops is Troops on force.net.
because they did more than one, right?
Well, I'm on more than one. This is just the first one.
I'm on YouTube, so I believe this. Yeah, force.net. Yeah, that's
Okay.
the one.
Okay, I'm gonna hit that play button. T-5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm sorry about that.
What the? This is like Guardians of the Galaxy meets Star Wars.
I like it. It's an old show. I used to watch Cops.
I love the dedication in this. Before we had the digital equipment available to everybody. This, God, I love the Stormtrooper too they got.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, because I was working with Lightwave at the time, I was working at Ion Storm, and all the ships and stuff in this are done with Lightwave.
Cool.
Oh, Boba Fett.
Nice. All right.
Oh, Ivan, a little bit later on, you're going to see some films that you could probably do Marvels on.
Oh, great.
Don't you think some levity in Star Wars would be good right now?
Oh, we need a feel-good film. I'm gonna mute myself for a second so I can listen to it a little bit.
This is great. I love it.
Yes, Rhino, it is. Was that the droid from Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Yeah. Tom Servo.
Yes, it was.
Dude, this is beautiful.
You hadn't seen it before?
No, this is my first time.
Oh wow.
Oh, you're in for
I
a
haven't seen
treat,
this
my
in
friend.
years.
This is beautiful.
Thank you, the Escape World Show. Chicago rules represent. Thank you for your super chat.
That accent is so classic.
They just left the Mystery Science Theater robot there. I love that.
Imagine catching this back at Comic-Con in '97.
Oh
Right.
my god. You see, the domestic dispute. See, Star Wars can make us happy. Look at this.
Baru, come here.
No, they say they go out there all the time.
Holy cow.
Imperial Shelter. I love it.
And the Jawas are paying for it.
For those who are out there that can't hear anything, we're having a little watch party for some of these Star Wars fan fiction films. So I posted the link in the description. We're at the 8-minute mark. We're almost through the first one, so we'll catch you guys up in the beginning. Or in a minute.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna cut it there on my end. What do you guys think?
That was excellent.
I always love that.
Yo,
It's been
and
years
what about
since
you,
I've seen
Ivan? You hadn't seen it before. You have a little bit of a new perspective. What did you think?
It's fresh, it's original. Like, this is you know, when I started doing the re-edit for The Last Jedi, and people started seeing, like, you know, the results, and they're like, dude, this is great, but I don't know, I don't think we can bring Star Wars back again after this. I always, you know, I've always said it, and I'm always going to say it. Disney has the right, the rights to Star Wars, but we, the fans, are Star Wars. We are the ones that keeps it alive. We are the ones that maintained the fire for 40 years. We,
Preach!
not them. We. So it's up to us now to bring Star Wars back, and it's not going to be thanks to Disney. You know, it's going to be thanks to us. They need us way more than we need them.
I absolutely agree, and that's what this is all about. This is also why I'm pushing Lone Star, because these people are trying to tell us what comics has to be and what comics you know, what they should follow, and that's just not so. You know, this is art. This is fandom. You know, we want to back, or we're gonna just make it. We're just gonna make it our own way and get the heroes that we want and make them, you know, you do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
and that's why Ivan was re-editing and you know, make Ray like a good character, because they don't know how to make a good character, and we have Mike making a good old-fashioned comic book, and I just want to say, from a fan perspective, from a customer perspective, I appreciate you guys, and that's what this is all about.
I wish you'd showed me Ivan's cut beforehand so I could have checked out his stuff.
Oh, we could do this again on another occasion. There's more fan films out there, and I like that we're networking, and you know, Jeff might need some help to get his indie comics project started. He definitely has the fan base to fund it.
Yeah, for sure.
I just need the time to sit down and do it. I'm going to start working on that again this week. I've been working on the website stuff behind the scenes, so besides going live and doing videos, that's where my other time's been at.
Nice.
Okay, so has everyone here seen Solo?
Yeah.
Sadly.
Okay. So if you guys saw Solo, you know that within Solo there is a at the end a little bit of a cut of Darth Maul. And you know, it didn't make any sense. It's like, well, Darth Maul wouldn't really do that. Just to you know, it was just a little weird. So what I want to talk about getting
I like
here
it because I'm friends with Ray Park. But
no, but well, let's compare. I mean, when we're done with this, you might say, well, you know, maybe there was better ways to treat this character. And I want to highlight a film. I'm looking for it right now. I have like 20 tabs open. It's called.
If you're going to show something that shows Darth Maul back in his prime, it's different.
That's exactly
like
what I'm doing.
Older. I mean, they even aged him up more than I think Ray is. You know, like beyond Ray's actual age. Yep. He looked a little even older than that. So
I'm looking for. It's called The Apprentice. Twilight of the Apprentice. I'm trying to find. I have the tab here somewhere. Please bear with me for a second.
Well, you're looking real quick. Super chat from 6 turning 4 burning, and that's why cops have body cams. Empire did nothing wrong.
That's a good point.
Those Jawas, telling you.
No, I mean, you're selling stolen droids. You know.
Are we watching Darth Maul Apprentice?
That's the one. Have you seen that one?
Oh no, but somebody sent the title. So I could just tell you for the people that are watching what it is. And folks, here's the link right here in the chat to watch Darth Maul Apprentice. Thank you, Yakov Merkin. That's what we are watching in a moment.
17-minute one.
Now I'm going to tell you, this is one, if not my favorite fan film of all time.
So you're already up to speed about this one. You know what's up here.
Oh, dude, yes, I've watched it like 7 times. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah. So, when did this come out? I remember seeing this.
2016 is what it says. 17 million views. Damn.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about right there. And I'm okay. 17, yeah, we're on the same page. I have it. It's a little bit of a longer a fan film, but we have a little bit of time, and you know, it's kind of a watch party. So I want all the fans and customers and pros and reviewers out there that are in the audience to just find it. It's Darth Maul Apprentice. It has 17 million views. It's an excellent fan film, and we're about to.
Are you not allowed to play just the video on here?
No, I can't broadcast stuff that I don't own or haven't made myself.
No, because I'm looking at this Darth Maul Apprentice Star Wars fan film reaction, and it plays it in the screen, like picture in picture.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. Plus, with this channel, I have to be extra cautious.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to test anybody. Like,
yeah, you don't want to
risk strikes.
Trust me, you don't want to risk it.
Super chat from Zaire says 12 Parsec Stairs, a Star Wars fan film. Will you also check out some Lego Star Wars fan films? Zaire, I can check those out later. Today is Rod's Patreon Hangout video. Like I said earlier, he assembled the guests, he picked the topics, he's picking the films, and I've been impressed so far. This dude must have been working on this for a little bit. So quick shout out to you, Rod. This has been a lot of fun. So
that's what I want to bring. I want to bring some fun into this. I want to bring some fun and some energy to the independent projects out there. That's what I'm all about. And, you know, I'm about getting y'all to make your money. that's you know, you got to do it, you know. And I want to tell the Latinos, apoyen a su hermanito aquí, Ivancito, porque Ivancito trabaja muy bien. Así que ustedes tienen que ir a su Patreon y tienen que darle su suscripción, darle su pesito, 5 pesitos, vamos para arriba. And I just want to say that for, you know, hey, if you're Pentecostal, you speak to each in their tongue. You might speak to them in Gamer. You might speak to them in Star Wars. You might speak to them in Spanish. You know, it happens.
You know, I always wondered when Americans or like English-speaking people would tell me, whenever you talk in Spanish, you talk so fast. I'm like, no, I don't. But right now, what you just did, I'm like, oh, yeah, we do talk fast.
We do a little bit. Okay, well, I'm about to hit that play button. So if you're out there in the audience, we're gonna hit that play in T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Edward Antonowitz, thank you for your super chat. The 3-minute film called Mr. and Mrs. Sith by DEF CON Unlimited stunt on YouTube, please. Thank you, Edward. And Mareth Theoline says, after Darth Maul fan film, y'all should watch Hoshino Star Wars fan film.
So you guys, I want you to put them all in the comments. You know, when this is all over, said and done, you got to remember that. Put it in the comments. Remember it so that we know what you guys want to watch, and maybe we could do this again sometime.
This already is such a step up in quality. It's also a testament to modern technology, but still.
You know, they probably could have hired Ray to do this.
Is he easily accessible?
Yeah. I mean, he's not terribly busy either. I mean, he is now. I mean, he's been doing a lot more stuff recently, but there was a long time there he wasn't getting a lot of work.
I don't know if they let him go back into that character without their blessing of, you know, the mouse.
That's true.
My friend has nothing but nice things to say about that guy. He said he met him at a convention and he did a martial arts exhibition for free for all these people with the some kind of staff or something.
Oh yeah, with the he does it a lot with the double bladed Darth Maul lightsabers.
Yeah, that's Nick on the show. He swears by him. He's like, that guy was so cool.
No, he is. He's legit one of the coolest guys.
I bet he'd get along with Ivan. You guys can have a little bit of a tussle with your lightsabers and do a little show.
Dude. Oh,
dream come true.
Oh yeah, like I would go so fangirl on him. Like, oh my god.
I'd like to see Ivan do that in person.
Well, we met at a New York show. It was like a really painfully slow show, and so we were like on this cruise to in New York Harbor, and we just started talking about, because I take the same martial arts, or I took the same martial arts that he does, like wushu and Wing Chun and stuff, and like so we started talking about that and kids, and it was like just two dorks hanging out. It was fun, and then we'd start hanging out at all these different cons together because we were on the same circuit. It was fun.
Already, this has
awesome.
Better cinematography than The Last Jedi. That fight was well done for as short as it was.
Oh yes, it was.
Ivan gets into a little bit of the Wing Chun too, right?
Yeah, I've been practicing for 5.5 years.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Wing Chun's like the Othello of martial arts. A minute to learn, a lifetime to master.
I would disagree, but
this seriously has more of a Star Wars vibe than a $250 million movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's us who keeps this thing alive. Us, not Disney.
I agree.
But then it makes you wonder why Disney is so adversarial towards the fan base and wants them to essentially shut up.
Well, because number one, ego. Number two, they think money. They don't think passion. They don't think story. They don't think, they only see audiences. And I think that so far they've taken for granted that just because it has the name of Star Wars, the fan base is already going to consume it, regardless, because they see it as the only outlet that can provide a Star Wars product. It's just business mindset. I've seen it in many companies that I've edited videos, like movies for.
Mm-hmm.
They just take into consideration demographics. They're like, we already have this demographic, so let's branch out to this demographic by just pleasing what the demographic, this other demographic wants. And it's
a very stereotypical racist way to look at a group of people, because none of them are monoliths.
No, and that's the thing. That's how they see it. They see it as just numbers. They see it as just butts and seats. But they don't think people as people. They just think on wallets, and they think, okay, this is the product. This is the people. Awesome.
Boy, the fight choreography is so much better than that last one.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Ivan.
No, it's okay. But yeah, I mean, that's long story short. That's what it is. They don't focus on the customers as people, and that is their biggest mistake.
This is surprisingly engaging. Like, I don't really have too much to say besides, man, this is cool. Like,
Mhm.
normally I have critiques on things, but
You hadn't
like,
seen this?
no, I haven't.
I'm telling you, man. I've been trying to do this for a while, man. And I knew you were gonna like it, man.
Put it like this: as soon as there's another opening, when you come back, I hope you want to do more Star Wars fan films. These are fun.
Oh, I'm about this. You know, I got your back monthly, and I'm keep it up.
Now, I just read a comment right here that says that from Chris Boitano that he agrees with me, but he doesn't understand why, that is not the same case with the MCU. And I'm just going to answer real quick. The direction you have for the MCU, you have Kevin Feige, and he's the quality control guy, and he's the one that touches everything and makes sure that that everything runs smoothly, and he cares for the fans and he listens to it. That's his strategy. Kathleen Kennedy is just a businesswoman wannabe, and the leadership there, you can see where her mind is at. So that's the
I
difference.
I think Bob Iger is just asleep at the wheel because the only way Star Wars is that bad and the MCU is that good is that there's not a voice above the heads of the big company to put them in check, because it doesn't make any sense that the MCU is doing this good and there's not someone saying, "Hey, Star Wars, what are you doing?" I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, do whatever you want." Yeah, I don't know. It feels weird. These people cremate their care ceremonially. They don't care.
I even like this Jedi that's not Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
They're cool. This is cool.
No, but they got the effects right. They got the sound effects right. Everything just is working for what this is. And I think the setting helps elevate it because it doesn't look like it's on a cheap set.
Mm-hmm. Like Endor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've seen Star Wars proper take place on jungle terrain. So why not go back? Doesn't hurt at all. And this, I guess these are what, like stock footage or whatever they bought, but still.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just in a forest near their house.
Costumes look pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nature, you can't beat it. The special effects can't beat like straight up nature. And it's a great setting.
Yeah, I'm not trying to kiss some ass right now for your choice, but this is more engaging than the Battle of Crate. Damn, that was cool too. The Battle of Crate was so boring and stupid. This has some tension to it.
It's supposed to be his first test in battle for Maul.
One thing about this that's nice is that it's entertaining enough to distract you from the fact that you know the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With all the Star Wars prequels, you knew how it was going to turn out. With like this, you knew Darth Maul had to win because he's in Episode 1, but at least it's good enough that you're not like, oh, well, he wins, I don't care.
But the choreography in this is so good.
No, it really is.
Compared to anything in like the first 3 movies. That god awful freaking Obi-Wan and Anakin battle where they're just twirling their lightsabers at each other.
I do like the actual Darth Maul fight from Episode 1, but my favorite part's when it's just Obi-Wan and Darth Maul at the final part after Qui-Gon had died.
Yeah.
That, like, where he runs through the shield generator doors, that was cool to me.
Yeah, I just keep flashing back to, do you remember the scene I'm talking about where they're just like twirling, they're standing like 6 feet apart, twirling their lightsabers at each other for no reason?
Yeah, it's the beginning of the fight. They're in that control room. Damn, Darth Maul fucked that dude up.
Also, I like, this is a very show don't tell story. And you say, well, there's no story here. Well, if you look at their faces and if there is a story there, you just have to pay attention. Ivan knows a little bit of what I'm talking about here, right?
Just a thing or two. Now, in 17 minutes, this girl, this one right here, I care so much for her, and I already know her story, her struggle, what she's thinking. She hasn't really said a word, but you care so much for her right now, and you feel for her. And now it's way more than what you can do for Ray in 2 movies of 2 hours and a half each.
Because
You
these
tried to
people's
help Ray
motives
out,
are
but
just, a good story.
their heart is in it.
And this girl can actually act.
Yeah, she got a little bit of talent.
The Darth Maul makeup was well done too.
Yeah, girl.
I like his acting. You look at his. I mean, they don't talk because they don't really talk, but there is acting in this, and there is like that those moments.
Good, good. Let the anger flow through you.
Yes.
Love
And
the Western music.
Mhm. God,
Just thinking about it.
I'm thinking about like asking her out.
Well, if you're still single by December 2019, it's her.
Really?
I don't know. That's I know you got a few like metrics. That you're like, okay, if I don't make it by this date, it's you. If not by this date, but I'm gonna stay single for now.
Oh shit, that's true. Damn, I forget sometimes.
I am a fan. I watch your stuff.
Damn, look at that. That aerial shot. That's how you make a good fight. Not a lot of jump cuts. You focus on the actual movements.
That was cool.
Oh yes.
I think he's toying with her a little bit too.
Yeah, he sensed her weakness early on. In terms of like when he had her choked up on the sky or whatever.
I'll save you.
I mean, how long do you think it would take you to edit something like this?
With special effects or without them?
Give me an
With-
estimate for both.
Yeah.
Without special effects, just me alone, I would say about
I love this
2
part.
months and a half. At maximum. At maximum, 2 months and a half.
What program do you use?
Huh?
What program do you use?
Adobe Premiere.
Huh. To get After Effects.
He doesn't really want to kill her.
No, because he's a guy and he knows like me. He's a no, but with special effects, then it would take me just by myself with no help whatsoever. About 5 months, something like that. 5 months and a half.
Can you do effects like this?
Yeah, for the most part, like the force push that they have, I can do that. The lightsabers, I can.
Ooh, you could do lightsabers. I might ask you for some help on something then.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm shooting a fight for my re-edit of The Last Jedi, right?
You mentioned it last time.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker from the background and just have like that panoramic shot of Kraid when they're facing each other. And I'm going to replace it with myself and my friend Steven with the costumes from far away. So you only see kind of our silhouettes and like the shadow of the clothing.
Mhm.
And do like an actual fight to where Luke and Kylo Ren actually fight. So yeah, that's happening.
I think this guy's acting was good. I saw like a little bit of like a real doubt, a dilemma
Yeah.
losing of the complete, loss of the light in him. Like, okay, this is where I kill my light. I like
you
this.
got the teeth down just right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so that was awesome. That was way better than Troops for me.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Troops
agree.
is it's a little bit, it's been out there for a while, and they had a little bit of different technology, and it was just more for fun than anything.
Oh no. I get that. I'm just saying, like, I was aware of Troops. I've always enjoyed it, but that one I was just like, wow, that was great.
This one got you came out of nowhere for you a little bit.
Yeah, I needed something like that because tonight I'm going to be doing I got somebody coming on. We're going to watch the Clone Wars cartoon. And we're going to talk about Star Wars Episode 9.
The 2D
and I was
one,
like,
right?
Yeah, and that's on YouTube. So if you're going to watch and listen, you have access to all the stuff.
That's cool.
And
That's cool.
I love the 2D Clone Wars. I think that's as good as the other one. But I'll talk about that later. No, but on this one, man, I just needed something to refresh me in terms of Star Wars. And this isn't going to change my stance on Disney. If anything, it'll make me a little more upset at the current state of Star Wars from Disney. But at least I'm having
it
some
gives
fun.
you a little bit of a new hope.
Now, let's see. Cobra Viper says, shout out for Christmas Tauntauns, my favorite. I've never seen that one.
Put them down. Put all of them down in the. Don't forget, you guys. All this stuff that you like. You got to help us out a little bit too. Well, when we're looking for this stuff, you put that in the comments, and don't forget to like. I see you guys out there. Appreciate you. Appreciate those likes. And let me see. I'm gonna pick another film here a second. You have some super chats to read?
Yeah, from Mareth Dialine. Maul got cut. Looked like him. Wait, sorry. Maul got cut and looked at him like nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Makini 90. Also, thank you, Jeff. Don't forget Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul and Savage Opress in the Clone Wars. That was an awesome fight too.
Yeah, the Darth Maul versus Batman one's awesome too.
From was that Death Battle?
Yeah, I think so.
And Generic Airzor says, the fuck we watching? Well, for all those, Albedo, yeah, you can provide a link. Just shoot me a message through email or whatever, Facebook, whatever's easiest for you, because I'm going to be watching that all 2.5 hours of it with with somebody tonight, and we'll be talking about that in episode 9. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But if you guys have a high quality link to it, we'll be posting it. It's not, copyright infringement to share a link that's already on YouTube. So thank you, Albedo. I'll definitely be checking that out. So real quick, though, for anybody that's wondering, what we're doing is today as a Patreon hangout, our friend Rod had a request. We were going to watch Star Wars fan films. We're going to talk about entertainment that's produced by people with passion, like Ivan Ortega in his edits and Mike Miller in his Lone Star comic. So we're just talking about that stuff. We're talking about Star Wars, watching the movies, which are on YouTube for you guys to watch with us, and having a back and forth conversation. So I'm glad everyone's having a good time so far.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now I want to go into a short one. This one goes into a little bit of. We saw a little bit of the troops, right? Where we go into the soldiers' perspective. Now this is a little bit more of a serious take. This one is called Scout: A Star Wars Story. It's a Star Wars fan film about the 501st Legion. And it's just a 10-minute film. So this is a very short one. And it's one of those quick shots. I mean, like, can you capture what it's like to be a soldier? Can you capture what it's like to be in battle and, realize that the enemy is probably more like you than you'd like to think? So, like I said before, Scout: A Star Wars Story, Star Wars fan film, 501st Legion. And if you guys can find them, how are we doing over there? Did you find it, Mike? Got it?
Yeah, I'm all ready whenever you are. Let me read this one more super chat from 6 Turning 4 Burning. Thank you very much. This movie shows you can tell a great story with few words. Ivan, do you care to answer that, or to respond to that about?
This shows how you can tell a great story with few words.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's this is the thing. And there's 2 types of movies right now. The movies where you can feel with the character, and the movies that tell you what you should be feeling for the character. In The Last Jedi, if you watch it or anything, that I hope you don't, you can see that all of this characters tell you exactly how they're feeling, and they tell you like what they're going to do or anything. There's never a time where a character is just silent and like feeling something, where the character is just the character. Pretty much all of the characters are being used just as plot devices. So yes, a story is better told when you can feel with the character. So you really, for a story, you don't need even words. You just need um, to relate with the character, as opposed to just them telling you what you should be feeling.
Excellent, excellent. I completely agree. I mean, sometimes, and there's a lot of it that's the music. If you use the right music, the right ambiance, the right speed, and the facial acting. Like Uncle Lee has a saying, Ray sometimes looks like she's watching two clowns making love. Like she's just confused. She just was like she doesn't know what's up, or angry, and that falls on the director. I'm not, trying to say anything about Daisy Ridley. I am a devoted Ticopath, and the Ticopath teach you who is responsible. That we don't have to be mad at Kelly Marie. I mean, it's a path that takes you through mourning, because you start the Tico path angry and just unaccepting. It's like this didn't happen. I cannot accept that this happened. Then there's that anger, like no, I have to destroy anything related to this. This is, and then there's that negotiation. Like, maybe we can get this erased from the canon, or there must be something that we could do. And then Tico path is going to take you to the acceptance that it's all Rian Johnson's fault. And that is the Tico path. You forgive the Kelly Marie, and you take it out on Ryan. Because he's the one with power. Kelly ain't got no power. What can she do about Ryan? What could she do about Kathleen? She can't do anything.
Yes, Albedo, I got your message. And Neglisek says, Sergei Eisenstein, the battle cruiser Potemkin. Is that a fan fiction or a fan film? Is that what you're suggesting? Like Rod said, send us a message down in the comments of this so he can see it too. And he's going to make a list for next time, because this is his patron hangout. And this is awesome. I think anybody that's a Patreon...
I think we could do this again.
We will do this again for sure. Not could, will. This is a lot of fun. And we're not ending it right now either. So this isn't, a goodbye. All I'm saying is, for people out there that are patrons, you guys need to up your game and match this, because this is fun. Like, this has made my day a lot better.
Well, right now we're going to get into Scout. I want to say before I start, now this list wasn't compiled by me. These are films reviewed by Carbonite Chat. That's a channel you can also find in YouTube. He does in-depth reviews. He's very analytical. He's a good guy, all-around good guy. And, if you want to show him some support, go ahead. At least me as a fan, as a customer, I appreciate his honest reviews. Like I appreciate, Jeff's honest reviews here on World Class Bullshitter. So make sure you show his Patreon some love. Like he says, $1 gets you a dollar a month is great. $5, 17 cents a day, it's even better. And after that, sky's the limit. He's not gonna get mad if you go higher. Not at all, right? So we're about to get into Scout, a Star Wars story, a Star Wars fan film about the 501st Legion. It's a 10-minute film, and I'm about to start in T-5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I hated that message. Just to know that it's true,
Yeah, you're too humble. You need to get about making your money. I love your humility, but honestly, you deserve that love in your Patreon.
Nah, just that's the thing. I mean, if people want to, they can go for it, but I'm not. Like,
you're not gonna get mad if they throw a little more in there, right?
I mean, what they're going to do is to help me to keep doing what I'm doing. So if they like it, they can. But so far, like as long as I have enough to pay the bills, that's all I care about.
All right, that's what we're trying to do here.
And these Star Wars sound effects are so iconic. Ben Burtt, he's one of the pillars of the original Star Wars, and why I think it had the impact it did.
And it's a way to get you into the film without putting the film up there.
Yeah, like if they can't afford big effects, you can do this because you can hear the battle and in your mind know what's going on.
It takes you there emotionally without necessarily, blowing the budget.
Oh, last night was crazy.
I've been there, right?
It's like I should have drank that last shot.
I've never said that. I usually say I could have had another couple.
Well, you maybe have a higher tolerance. I mean,
Dude,
I hear you guys talking. I know I'm a lightweight.
Oh, I can put down way more booze than I should than any person I've ever met. It's not healthy, but I can. So far, I'm already impressed with the costume work. It doesn't look cheap. It looks like Return of the Jedi's Endor troopers.
Yep.
And the ferns kind of like take me to the Endor. I know they had a lot of them in there.
You know, it's funny you bring that up. I was about to say, did they go to did they go back to California to film this?
They might.
This looks straight up like they went to the same locations from Return of the Jedi.
Right.
Reminds me of being in the army. Walking
What,
through
just
the
sliding
forests
like
of
that?
Kentucky.
Oh, the forest of Kentucky. Hey, by the way, are you going to join us for our military stream?
Sure.
Because one of the listeners suggested, he's like, there's a lot of geek culture in the military and stuff like that, and so I'm going to put that together soon. I thought you'd want to be a part of it.
I'm totally down.
Hey, you could push Lone Star for the troops.
Yes, there is a package that is that still available? That's
Yeah, I actually made it the featured item on the site.
Yeah, so if you want to send some patriotic comics to the troops and give them a little lift, pick me up, there's a tier in there, and Lone Star for you.
Stormtrooper aiming.
And he's supposed to be a sniper.
Yeah.
Just saying.
The guy was sitting perfectly still.
The funny part is, too, their armor does nothing to protect them from a blaster shot.
It's just bulky and uncomfortable.
Because don't soldiers wear, like, ceramic plating to protect them from 1 or 2 bullets or whatever? So I could understand why they have all the stuff. The stormtroopers just get hit once and they're done. Or if they get hit with a rock, they're done.
That's the dragon scale. And they also have Kevlars, it's okay. I mean,
are they using the colloidal silicon yet?
No, I mean not in my time. They might be doing it to the troops out there, but I got out a while ago.
It makes fabric bulletproof. I don't know why it's not standard issue.
Yeah, you still need a little bit of rigidity to it so that it won't break your bones.
Yeah.
Or just stick your fabric in your body.
Do it. Oh. Again, this is another well-shot, well-choreographed fan film. This doesn't look cheap or hokey, and it's edited well, at least in my opinion. Ivan, how do you feel about the editing so far?
So far, it's good. I mean, I dig it. I like the shots. I like the composition. They have the whites when they need to establish things. It's a little action flick. I like it. It's well shot, as opposed to like just experimental weird angles that fucking Ryan Johnson tried to do.
The acting has me there too. I as a fan, I'm a fan of this acting. I mean, you guys, know a little bit more about acting than me, but I'm totally buying it for now. I mean,
But
not for now. I think I've seen this one.
his helmet. He beat his helmet with his helmet.
This guy, you talk about acting, he's actually impressed me because at first I thought he was a little, whatever, but as the story progressed, he got more intense. I like him.
Oh.
Shooter.
Do it.
No. This guy's no.
You like the redheads, huh?
I like the woman.
She can paint her hair any color.
No, but like these guys have history. Like
It's like,
look at the way they're looking at each other. Like there's regret right there. No words. Yes. Oh my God. Oh my
Do you
God.
understand? Do you understand why I wanted to bring this?
well,
Look
she
at
knew
that.
who he was the whole time. She still tried to kill him.
Oh.
Oh,
What can
No.
you do?
Dude.
snipers are the best.
I'm telling you.
That guy from that PS2 game.
Dude, that got me.
When I saw this alone, it got me. You know, when you're alone, when you're a couple of buddies, you might not be, you're talking a little bit. But if you watch this all alone, it's like, oh my God. It kicked me in the feels.
Ah,
Oh, damn, that was good.
that was good. That
How does
You
that
guys like
only
that?
have? It only has 82,000 views.
So, if you guys are out there, scout a Star Wars story, you can find this channel on YouTube. Give them a like, show them some love, and you remember to downvote all the Disney stuff and upvote all this kind of thing and show them some support. I mean, this is what I'm all about. This is what this is all about. And, show Lone Star a little love, show Ivan's Patreon some love, show the world-class bullshitters some love, because we're all about having an open communication with the fans, people like me and you, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing to be able to discuss these things. We may not agree on everything, and that's a great thing. The more perspective, the better the view. That's just a fact.
And my channel's still small enough that I can answer almost all the chats.
Yeah, I got a real first world problem over here, man. Got another one though from Mareth Aline. Real quick, some guys on YouTube are trying to remaster the Vader versus Obi-Wan fight on the first Death Star. Obi-Wan versus Vader remade, fast-paced recut with special effects.
I saw something like that and I liked it. It cut itself into the movie. Like, okay, there's like when there's a cut shot between Vader and Obi-Wan, they would put a little bit of the fight and then go back to the film and then put it in another cut. It just kept going like that. And I have seen something like that. I believe it's probably the same people. And make sure you leave that in the comments so that we can start compiling a list. And once again, so I got this list from the Carbonite chat, so go over there and show them some love too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do me a favor. Send me. It says Carbonite chat. Let me subscribe to the channel. I want to try to talk to that guy.
Oh, he's very. I mean, I'm a fan. He's more in your line. He's more of like an analyst. He goes step by step, and he's just giving an honest review. And he's a good guy. I believe he's all in all a great guy.
Well, my thing about Star Wars now is we need to, for the next couple of months, we need to pay attention to what Disney's doing. We need to keep the community strong like this. And we also need to remind people how it got to where it is so people don't become complacent and give Disney a pass on the next project. And I think if we can have well thought out, well-formed discussions with somebody like the Carbonite chat here on the channel, David Stewart, Pat from Please Rewind again, Ivan's always welcome, stuff like that. Get these people on to have these conversations and say the things that need to be said. We can keep the fandom menace, or however Geeks and Gamers wants to, whatever they want to say.
Yeah, I call it crossing the streams, because these people are just, big evil marshmallows that have gotten into these properties. And what do you do when you have a big, giant, evil marshmallow? You cross the streams. You cross the gamer streams. You cross the comic stream. And you cross the movie stream. And you just take that big old marshmallow down.
I love Ghostbusters so
I
much.
love Ghostbusters too.
Bikini90 sent in a super chat that says, Scout is only one 10-minute scene, and yet there's so much power and emotion in it compared to The Last Jedi, Rogue One, and even The Force Awakens. Loved it.
Me too.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is how quickly they're trying to jam these things out too. It's like they're like, well, let's put it on the schedule, even if we don't have a decent script. You know, that's kind of the most important part of getting a movie going.
And they're also rehashing some old elements which don't help their cause. It's like, hey guys, remember The Empire Strikes Back? Well, we've copied this movie 70%. It's like, come on, guys! Like, I know what's going to happen now, and not. In
and
a good way.
You can have a lot of the elements because this was completely like you're going back to Endor, but you're not taking scenes from Return of the Jedi and remaking them. You're just taking them to a familiar place and showing them a different aspect of what that battle was.
Yeah, it makes Return of the Jedi have some weight that's not there in the movie itself.
You know what? It adds to the lore.
Pages.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
That wants to know what Ivan's page is.
Oh yeah, it's Ivan Ortega. That's the name of his channel, guys. Let me find the link to that real quick, and I'll post that.
Thank you so much for that.
Oh, no problem, dude.
You know, in regards of all the rehashing and everything, I have this is the thing. I honestly don't mind when movies copy other movies. The problem is when they don't earn the moment. Like if they're going to do kind of a rehash of Empire, like the Battle of Hoth, and now making it the Battle of Crate or something like that with the walkers and everything, earn it. You know, make me care for it. Make me want it. Earn the moment. Don't just copy paste because you think, oh, I have the pretty visual, I'm going to be engaged. I'm not.
I think they were just they were trying to throw some salt down for us. I think I see it as a troll job, and I talked a little bit about this before. I was really, really in tune with the news when Force Awakens came out, since before Force Awakens, and when The Last Jedi was taken out. And the rumor was not that JJ left; it was that he was fired. And when you look at that, it makes you wonder if Ryan and Kathleen has this big of an idea of stomping on every IP that JJ gets credit for. Stomp that base, stomp that castle, stomp. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
And because these people, they're not about profit. We know they're a little petty, especially on Twitter. So, I wouldn't put it past them.
I was checking out that Obi-Wan Vader fight. That was pretty cool.
It was, right?
Yeah. Okay,
now I want to see Star Wars Emergence. This one is 4K if you have the bandwidth, because sometimes our cable can be a little iffy. It's a good. Let me see where I have it here. I think it's Avant-Garde. Is this the correct one?
Avant-Garde Creative.
Yeah, I think that's the one I got.
Cool. Let me send out the link to everybody.
All right, I'm gonna wait for you to put the link. So
you guys got it?
The 12 parsec stare.
I got you guys covered in the chat. The links to these videos, they're all being posted right there, so everyone can.
Okay, so Star Wars Emergence, and if everybody's ready, I'm about to get into this, and I'm gonna hit it in T-5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now I'm watching these in full screen, so if anyone sends in a super chat, I will read it at the end of our video.
I've got it on a separate iPad.
Oh, okay. I actually don't own a tablet.
The Brent is blinded and alone. All right. I see what they did. Nice.
You like to do there, huh?
Yeah, I do. And I know how they did it and what exactly where they got that shot from.
That takes the magic away.
They shot it in real time. That's how they got it. They went into space and shot it themselves. I was there.
They used a drone.
Yeah.
Like Steven Spielberg did in Titanic, but up instead of down.
Oh, she's blind.
She's a passing resemblance to Ronda Rousey.
She's jumping around in her memory a little bit, so we don't really understand what's going on. We have to like just by her face and a little bit of what I like this one. I can't describe it as well as you guys that are a little bit more film connoisseurs can, but I think it's good.
Again, they're smart to go into a location that, you know, even if you have a big budget film, they can't alter it too much.
Yeah.
The woods.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of these fan films deal with the theme of death and kind of like surpassing oneself, like a Padawan becoming a Jedi or something of the nature. You know, it's not. It's profound, something you can relate to. Like, what's the theme of the new trilogy of Star Wars? Like, what is the theme? There's no development. There's no arch. There's no. I'm just gonna shut up. I'm gonna keep going.
But that's a very valid thing. These people are making a passion product or project, and it just has more weight and emotional depth than something that has unlimited resources from every part of the industry. There's no excuse. That's, I think, why so many people are pissed off. There's no way to excuse what Rian Johnson failed to do.
Exactly. I agree. Oh, that's nice.
Well, taken individually, The Last Jedi, the theme is the redemption of Luke after his failure with the Jedi Academy and Kylo Ren.
Now, let me ask you, how did he redeem himself?
Who?
By he was crushed. He lost everyone, everything, his family. He caused the downfall of his own nephew, and the redemption was his coming out of hiding and
Did he come out of hiding?
to save his friends.
They did a bad job of it. That's what they wanted to do, but they executed horribly.
Well, yeah, but he was asking about the theme.
Yeah, I got you. It's true. It was they tried and they failed. The theme was there, but I hope they just say, oh well, you know, the reason why his metal arm. Okay, you remember Luke's death scene?
Luke's death scene? Yeah.
The twin sons. Okay, so why didn't his metal arm fall? Maybe he didn't die. Maybe they pulled him into the world between worlds.
Well, Mark Hamill's back in episode 9, so that's going to be.
But he'll be glowing blue.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know he's going to come back as a Force Ghost. I'm just saying they are scrambling over there, and it's going to be interesting to see how bad they screw this one up.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, they could resurrect the real Carrie Fisher. I still wouldn't go see the movie until they apologize to me. Because I'm not a Nazi, I'm a Puerto Rican. ¿Y qué le pasa a esta gente diciendo ni que yo soy un Nazi? ¿Qué se creen? No.
For anyone that doesn't speak Spanish, he said, who do they think they are? I'm a Puerto Rican.
Not a Nazi.
Not a Nazi.
I love this right now. He goes off, he translates. It's funny.
I'm going to be the official subtitler for World Class Bullshitters, by the way.
Perfect.
Awesome.
You're part of the crew. You're the official 7th bullshitter.
Yeah, I'm the token. You know, I'm the Mexican token. Now you can check that off the list, so you're not a racist.
Well, we got an Indian, a black guy, a half black guy, one white guy, and Puerto Rican. Not Puerto Rican. Sorry, Mexican.
He's Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah, sorry, I got you. You guys don't even sound anywhere alike, but but yeah, we are a diverse podcast. They can never say we're a bunch of angry white dudes.
But you didn't like The Last Jedi, so you're white by default.
Okay, that's true. That is true. My God, this is a good fan film. I think this one has awards under its belt too. Like she's like, she didn't get the full training, but she's just going into the little that she was taught and going into the force. Into, I love it. This is.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
I'm
watch
still
it again
for
later.
Rat Tail.
I know people don't like the Phantom Menace, but I do like the Padawan braid. I thought that was a cool little artistic element to add to show that you're not yet a full Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Agree, 100. Oh,
No Mary Sue here.
oh no, not at all, not at all. And you know, this is the thing. This character right here, she happens to be a woman, right? But if they had a man or an alien or anything with the same facial expressions, same emotion delivery and everything, it would work the same. They don't have to just preach, oh, this is an independent, strong woman who needs no Jedi, you know? It's like she's just a character who happens to be something, and you're going to root for her because she's a good character.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my, oh, that is cool.
Except you saw the other guy's arm holding the lightsaber.
I like the concept. Let me leave it. She was kind of burning her thumb with this.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. I think they might have been put a little bit, a few filters or something to get a little bit of the separate the layers a little bit. It looked a little flat. Do you understand what I'm saying, Ivan?
Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean,
you know, it's a fan film. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I liked it. I like the effect. I like, you know, it's. I think this is excellent.
it's about, oh, she's like for anyone that has seen The Last Airbender, she's like Toph. You know, that's what Toph would be as a Jedi, because she's blind and she can see with her earth bending. And if you haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, then why the fuck are you here? Like, go and live.
I'm sorry. It may be a
You want me to
cinematic
stop the
sin.
stream? I haven't
I'll
seen
take
it.
it out. No, we can get to it later. Give us a little. You gotta give us a break here, Ivan. I'm gonna see. I've heard a lot about it.
You have to watch a lot about it.
Now you mean
I
the
will.
cartoon, not the M. Night Shyamalan masterpiece, correct?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. In my world, that movie doesn't fucking exist. Like, that was just a bad dream. That is the one movie I'm never going to fix, like, ever, because it doesn't exist.
Okay, I get you.
Hey, I have a
Highlander 2.
Huh?
So what about Highlander 2?
I haven't.
Yeah,
seen
that.
Highlander two.
What is that? No, does
Oh,
not
seriously?
exist.
It's don't even bother watching it.
That was the first Highlander film I saw.
Oh really?
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
I love the
things can
first
only get better.
one. First one's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's Sean Connery.
Again, the locations they're choosing,
Yeah,
is cool looking.
Smart. These people are smart.
the force you must feel.
Do they have like a Star Wars fan film award ceremony at Celebration?
Oh God, no! I bet they don't.
They should.
Hey Jeff, what if at Celebration we do that? Just like in the middle of some hall or something, and we just like start awarding people.
We should, if you give me a couple months' notice, we could make little awards and hand them out to people that have made these fan films and kind of build a little buzz around it.
Momentum.
Yeah, like we make some videos like for anyone that has done a Star Wars fan film, we're going to be there, and this day we're going to just hand you guys something, so come and meet us, you know, something like that.
Oh man,
What'd you say?
some of these are just excellent.
They usually conventions like it, like people they can you can apply to do your own like screening room or whatnot. You can just do it in there and
We'll have to do it under Ivan's name because they know me and they hate me.
No.
Yeah, yeah, and that Ortega might be like, well, we don't want to give the wrong message if we reject this guy.
Yeah, you know, and I think that's exactly why. Because I have some people that have messaged me that work at Lucasfilm, and or that they claim that they have, and they're like, dude, they know your name. It's like, all right, I want them to come to me. I want them to try to block me or something. But how bad would it look for this social justice warrior to try to block the vision of a small YouTube channel of this brown Mexican? Aw.
No, because you said it wrong. They're not social justice warriors. They're socialist justice warrior. They just want power. Everything they claim to protect is just an excuse. They don't care about this. They don't care about women. They care about like using speech as an assault and taking that power. If woman gets that power, then they use that. If race gets that power, then they use that. But they don't care. As soon as like, wait, but I'm a woman and I don't agree, or I'm brown and I don't agree. Oh, well, you have internal misogyny. You have internal white supremacy. They don't really care about any of the things they say they care about. They care about the power that they can get from that message that, oh, we are the protectors. A little too political. I know you don't like to get too political.
Oh no,
so
no,
I'm gonna walk that back.
No, look, it's something like that isn't what I would consider overtly political in terms of entertainment and the way you consume stuff. If people started talking about, Congress and shit like that and policy, then I'm just like, this has nothing to do with it. But no, that was just, to me, that was a continuation of something relevant. So don't worry, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
Yeah, that's how I see it. I mean, this one has a little bit of rough effects, but I hope you guys liked it, and I hope everybody out there in the chat and in the audience liked it. I think it's okay. I think it's pretty good.
I liked it too,
especially the acting.
And a lot of people are really sticking around with this. We got 317 people watching, which is 3 times the amount that stuck around for the zombie watch party last night. So first off, Star Wars has that appeal, and secondly, people like this concept, dude. So bravo to you, man.
Yep. Clap, 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 clap.
Yeah, I think this is something that's necessary. I mean, we need to show the people. We need to show the people that the power is in their pocket. The power is not at Disney, Lucasfilm. The power is not at Marvel Comics or these big comic companies. The power is in the pocket of the consumer, and that's why they try to shoot down any consumer that says this deserves a little scrutiny. What are you guys doing here? That's what they're all about.
100%. And I just hope that people's apathy doesn't give the power back to these big companies. That's my biggest concern. Not trying to get
that's why I believe in don't just you have that boycott where I'm not buying your movie tickets. But another way you can hurt them is not okay, not only did people not buy your movie, people not buy your comic, they went and bought something else so much that it's just making you look like you don't even want money, like you don't even care. Because I'm gonna give an example here. Cyberfrog, Jawbreakers, these projects are making so much money that it's shaking an industry to its foundations. It's like back in the days of and you people that are not comics people, bear with me for a second, but there was a long time ago, a whole bunch of creators were mistreated. And they were so mistreated that they decided to form their own company, and they just left. And they formed their own company, and that's where Spawn comes from. That's where Jim Lee gained a lot of. Well, he already had notoriety, but Wildstar Studio,
Wildstorm.
That's where a lot of that came from, and it came from that sense of first of all, a little dignity for the creator, and a sense of of independence of no, I can make my own thing, and I can get the people to back it because it's good.
Well, here's what the difference is in what we're doing today and what they did then. Jim and Mark and Wills and Eric and Todd and Rob, they left Marvel when they were making hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars in royalties. I mean, these guys, they could have not worked for several years, and instead of what they did. But you know, they went out and they had this great big golden parachute to make sure that they could land somewhere softly. And it's not like they couldn't run back to Marvel and DC if it failed, because they were, I mean, not all of them, but some of them were, you know, they were the biggest names in comics. Whereas what we are doing is 100% up to the fans to support. So it's like, you know.
Well, another thing is they were like all behind one big thing, and you guys, each one of you is gonna have your own universe in your hand. You might cross it over with some other guy, but it's all yours. And I want to highlight something else in this. It's the persecution and the marginalization and the slandering that's going on. And not only do you not have a giant parachute, you also have the problem of these people saying untrue things about you. Yeah. I mean, they want to persecute you and accuse you of things you never said or did, while you know, other people get praised for the horrible things they actually did say. And you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It's slanderous. It's freaking, it's terrible. But you know what? Here I am, where, you know, here I stand. I can do no other.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Now, before we get to the next one, real quick, a bunch of people threw in super chats while we were watching that. So first off, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Cesario Japan, who says, Scout reminds me of a particular G.I. Joe episode. Now, I don't know about you guys. Did you grow up watching G.I. Joe?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
I did, but it was so long ago, I don't remember.
Yeah, I was too young for G.I. Joe. So
I'm 47. I watched that stuff when it came out.
I used to watch the Transformers, a little bit of the Puerto Rico. We also had El Tío Noel, it was a show, and we watched Mazinger. I think they call him Macaizinger. You know, it's a weird like mecha thing. We would watch. Yeah,
it's Mazinga.
Well, we had the Silver Hawks. We had the Thundercats, and you know, all of it in Spanish, because back in the day it seemed to be easier to translate some of this stuff to Spanish from Japanese than to, well, the ones that were from Japan, than it was to from English to Spanish. It was a great time to be a kid back then. And yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of these old school stuff is just great. I mean, you know, and they're just ruining it. Transformers kind of weird. I like the first one. They went downhill from there.
Yeah,
I gotta show what I did with the Thundercats before we move on to the next one. So you guys saw what they're doing with the god awful Thundercats thing, right?
Oh yeah,
Thundercats.
Yeah, hold on. Let me share this real quick.
And there was a comic that had
You still there, Rod? You cut out, man.
Oh, hold on. Can you hear me now?
There you go. You're here.
Okay. What I was saying is that there was a comic that crossed the Thundercats and He-Man, if I'm not mistaken. With good art. You hear me now?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Okay. So the next one that we're going to get into is, now that we're talking a little bit about comics, we've seen a little bit of the 2D clone art, and it's good.
Here, hold on. Rod, look at this one. I don't know if you saw that I don't know if I had it on my page.
Yeah, I like what he did there.
Let's get that up so everyone can see that, guys.
I like that. That's good.
Thundercats.
No. Now, Rob, before we get started, Makini90, thank you for your very generous super chat. Sometimes limited resources allow you to be more creative and strike a more personal and emotional chord versus something that has near unlimited resources and no direction.
That's a good
point. Agree.
Yeah, I agree 100%. 100%.
And that brings Deadpool to mind.
Yeah.
Well, that also brings to mind, like, in the 80s, like, the comics were designed around certain, you know, like the comics code, and there were things you couldn't do. So the writers, I mean, that's why all the great stories that they're using for movies today come out of the 80s, because they're like, you know, Jim Shooter just hired great people and said, here's your sandbox. You have to stay within these lines, but do whatever you want inside there. And they just came up with the best freaking stories. And
Dude,
And then
I agree with you 100%. 80s Marvel's my favorite decade of Marvel, hands down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And these guys are turning the sandbox into a calculator box, and it's not right.
Well,
But
look,
that's what I want to do with my Blacklist universe is get back to that 80s comics kind of feel.
Exactly.
well, I'm gonna join your Indiegogo after we go on. Well, before we close this all out, I'm gonna join because I supported Cyberfrog, so I gotta do everybody's. Because
Well, it's good. I think you're gonna like it.
Well, no, I mean, I believe in independent comics and changing the industry and stuff like that. So instead of just telling you guys, oh, I support it, I'm gonna actually go out and do it. I did it for Ethan. I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna continue to get these comic books to just let people know that hey, there's a place for this stuff. And somebody who used to collect every issue of Spider-Man and want to draw Spider-Man professionally, that was my dream goal in life. This current climate has just changed all that for me. So
it turned you off to it?
Fully. I'll talk to you guys more in another less Star Wars centric stream about that kind of stuff. Because
I mean, if we could do like have a day in there in the week or maybe in the month or whatever for comics, I'm all for that. I mean, personally, I've been gone from comics for a while. I just hated The Last Jedi so much that I bought Jawbreakers because Uncle Lee recommended it, and that's how I went out. Star Wars kind of became a gated community that we couldn't go in. We weren't accepted. And he said, oh, that's not the only gated community. Look at what they're doing in comics. And that's, he got me. I felt for what these guys have gone through. And that's what got me back into comics and into, doing everything I can to support that.
You guys aren't alone. I hear that story from new fans like every freaking day. This Force user right here just said #MeToo, Jeff. It's like,
yeah,
comics have scared off or just shed off a whole bunch of people because of how crappy they've gotten. So let's fix it, shall we?
Let's. I'm gonna throw my hat into the ring with my parody comic. I got a whole string of them that I want to work on. So if they're all success, like if each Indiegogo thing's successful, I'll take the time and do the next story. And I can't wait to get to the group one we're going to do called Shipping and Handling. It's our homage to shitty cop stories, but we'll get into that later.
Hey, I want to see y'all blessed and prospered, so I'm completely down for backing all of y'all on that.
Well, I appreciate you, dude. I got your message over on Patreon, and I thought that was nice. I didn't want to ignore it and not respond. I haven't had a chance to respond to some of these messages. People know.
No, I know you got a hectic life. I know all of you got a little bit of a hectic life. And I know me, I got all the time in the world. I kind of retired, so I ain't got nothing to do all day. So I'm like, you know what? These people being marginalized.
24 hours a day. He never sleeps.
Yeah. My Twitter is always tweeting something. I'm always on that live chat like, hey, what's up? How you guys doing? Great to see you.
Yeah, I catch you in a lot of the Good Morning Pop cultures, man. So I know you're there, and on World Class Bullshitters, I see you there. So we see everyone, we appreciate it, and you've definitely gone above and beyond to let us know how much you like the channel and what we're doing.
Well, right now we're going to get into a little bit of what we were just talking about. We're talking about comics, we were talking about cartoons, and there's this film called TIE Fighter Remastered, and it's a bit of an anime film, but it's taking a look.
I've seen this one.
Then we're in for a treat.
Yeah.
I want everybody in the chat and at home to find yourself this movie.
Actually, let me share it to you guys real quick. I'll send you the link. Let me finish up our few super chats just to because somebody sent in a really big one. So first off, Mareth Dioline, thank you very much. He says, the Sith Relic Star Wars fan film. It's a fan film about the Red Guard on Endor. I didn't know they had Red Guards on Endor.
Put that on the list.
That's going to be on the list, like Chris Jericho says. You just made the list. Let's see who else we had. 6 Turning 4 Burning Sentence 2. Thank you very much for both of those. He says, that would make Disney look real bad about Fan Films Awards at Celebration. So it'd be, I guess, a mission of guilt, according to 6 Turning 4 Burning.
Yep.
Mark C. says, Lucasfilm used to give fan film awards. George Lucas would choose the winner himself. I don't know if Disney Lucasfilm did this at the last Celebration.
I kind of doubt it, and I kind of see why Lucas would do it, because he has a personal vested interest. So he'd be looking out for that talent, and he'd be like, "Wait, before you do your own thing, come and work for me."
Well, that's one thing that was cool about Lucas. He always would say, "If you don't make a profit off of it, you can do what you want to do." So,
and if I see you're getting good, you're gonna, we're gonna share in this. I can understand how being like a little bit of business savvy helps the brand and helps out the people that have that talent. And these people are not business savvy, not at all.
Chapter Master Dante sent in a very generous super chat. Yo, Jeff, I personally don't care for horror, but love sci-fi. The Emperor protects. Well, Chapter Master Dante, we're going to be doing a lot of sci-fi here on the channel. We're pretty much all-encompassing in terms of entertainment, and we'll probably be covering more sci-fi than we would horror. Horror is usually like a late-night thing for fun, for shits and gigs, so thank you for your very generous super chat, and we'll be talking a lot about sci-fi this coming week. This is going to be a good week for you, like I said. Besides the besides the High Council, there's the Star Wars EU celebration discussion, as well as some other things, and the Clone Wars tonight. So, again, thank you, Chapter Master Dante. Astro Panda, would Star Wars be better off in the public domain? I would say probably. It is. You think it would be better in public domain?
Yeah, I mean, just look at the fan films. Just look at the passion. Just look at the end result. Look at what Disney has done, and look at what the fans have done. That's all you need.
Do you think that someone would come in and try to capitalize on it too much and then maybe cannibalize it or bastardize it? Or do you think that the fans would be able to maintain this level of quality and keep the respect and reverence for the Star Wars franchise?
I think you have both, and the market would decide.
Yeah, the cream rises to the top. I mean, if you look at Rule 34, they're going to make it into something that it wasn't supposed to be. I mean, you can't, they might do something bad with it. Well, then, have you heard of Rule 34? I mean, that's going to happen. It's just
I know what it is. Trust me, I had a friend that had an iPad full of that stuff. So.
They get funny.
Yeah, they do. And then two more popped up, and then we'll start this movie. First off, Cesare Japan says, trying to find the episode in Joe, but all I can remember is one of the Joes finds out his old childhood friend has joined Cobra as a merc during a battle.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. I want to check it out. I've only seen a few episodes of G.I. Joe and the G.I. Joe movie. I was born in 88, so 90s kids weren't really watching too much G.I. Joe.
That's like that scene in Deadpool when he recognizes one of the guys he's killed. Hey, how's the wife?
Yeah, haven't seen you since that thing we did. Yeah, I remember that. I like that.
Casserole.
I think that guy is gonna become like,
Bob?
Deadpool has a friend in Hydra.
Yeah, Bob, right?
Hydra Bob, I think that's his name, right? I think that's going to be their Hydra Bob.
I'm going to pick up they have a Hydra 2-pack of action figures from Marvel Legends, and I'm going to go get those. I'm not going to start talking about toys, but Marvel Legends toys. Anyway, final super chat, then we're going to start this. Sorry, guys. From Mareth Aline, thank you very much. Star Wars Siren of Dathomir by Joe Hogan is a Clone Wars era animated short. He got the actor who played Obi-Wan to reprise his role. It's a must-see. I'm a sucker for animation, so
the list. Put that on the list.
All right, folks, I'm going to send the link one more time into the chat, and we're getting ready to start. So, Rod, if you want to count us down, man, it's all up to you.
Okay, so we're at T-5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, there we go, the music. They even used the video game logo. Cool.
Have you seen this one, Ivan?
Nope. And I'm loving it so far.
You're in for a treat, my friend.
No, I've been getting treats all day.
Ooh.
That sounded weird.
That sounds actually pretty damn awesome.
Look at that.
We finally get to see a probe droid be efficient. Well, I mean, it worked in Empire, but it just blew up. This is cool, though.
This is like anime from like the late 90s.
This is a fan film?
Yep.
This is awesome so far. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, this is...
I've been wanting to do this, bro. I know you're going to like it, man.
Holy... Like, this reminds me of the first music videos from Daft Punk,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One More Time and all that stuff?
Yeah. Like, it's got the lighting, the textures. I'm digging it. This is back when MTV had music.
And balls.
Yeah.
You guys remember Liquid Television?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That was so cool.
A little bit of the Max and Aeon Flux.
The lighting, the texture.
Oh, dude, you are 100% right. This is awesome.
Holy shit.
I'm all about bringing happiness.
I'm just sitting here smiling. This is neat.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Holy shit, this is cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, I like how they show the faces of the troopers. Boom.
Oh no, R2.
Oh, that was a good transition.
They got gravity well generators.
They developed their own ship for this because that's not a normal Star Destroyer.
Now I seen those on Empire at War. It's a real-time strategy game.
Okay.
It's out there in the lore, but they don't use it in the movies.
That's neat looking.
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to stop anyone from jumping to hyperspace.
Oh, okay.
That's why you're supposed to pretty much in hyperspace go through anything, but if it's a really strong gravity field, it'll pull you out or you'll hit it. It might cause you. That's why you need the navigation. You're not supposed to be able to hit anything in hyperspace, which makes The Last Jedi kind of retarded.
That's it. That's the one thing that they searched.
I went around the long way, but I brought it back.
Dude, I get what you're saying.
Wait, how are you not supposed to hit anything in hyperspace? Well, then what's the point of taking all that time to figure out your trajectory?
The thing is, you have to figure out the trajectory, but it's because of these large masses, not because of you might hit a rock or a ship. That doesn't matter, but a large mass might pull you out of hyperspace. That's the only way that can happen. They didn't have the care to go into it. They didn't.
Those inset panels were neat. I'll stop saying the word neat.
Stuff.
I'm just so impressed right now.
I wanted the audience to have this joy that we're feeling watching it. I wanted them to have a new hope.
Yes, really good 2D animation.
That is what a villain should look like, not like stupid Hux from the First Order.
Soy Hux.
Hawks. Hux bitch ass.
Yeah, he was so cartoonish. He was more cartoonish than this cartoon.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you make the villain so inept, it doesn't make the hero's achievement worthwhile at all.
Precisely.
Ah, the Wilhelm scream. I wonder how much of the human animation was rotoscoped. Because it has a little bit of that fire and ice heavy metal feel, which isn't a bad thing at all.
Great shot.
I love how they go into the helmets too.
Yeah, it humanizes the Empire, which is something that the original trilogy doesn't do at all. Oh, the escape pod. Hey, finally, Good Johnson worked on Star Wars.
But wouldn't you watch a season of that?
Yeah. In a heartbeat.
Definitely,
Oh, yeah.
in a heartbeat, right? And I'm not knocking the 3D animation. It's and the Samurai Jack style in the Clone Wars. Yeah, I get it. They were definitely going for a younger demographic with those. But I mean, the kids that love that would love this too.
Yeah, they would. I don't know why they think kids only want this weird anime-inspired knockoff stuff. Any decent, engaging show will hook them, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hated the 3D animation style in Clone Wars.
I like the story, so I became accepting of the animation. But and I have a feeling that what Kathleen Kennedy did, the first thing she did was put her foot in Filoni's way and trip him by stopping the Clone Wars dead mid-season. And after that, when she finally had to give him something to do, she gave him Rebels. And I think that the worst parts of Rebels are things that are forced on him. That's my theory, because he did so well in Clone Wars, and there's like so many iffy things about Rebels that I don't think that comes from him. Like this whole thing of the world between worlds, time travel inside Star Wars, this whole thing of hyperspace whales, like some whales that go through hyperspace and grab a ship and take it to hyperspace. Spoilers for that's too late. You live, but you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think so.
So there is like some people have a little bit. Maybe Filoni is falling behind, or maybe he's not as good as he was. I'm like, no. I think that when you look of what's in control, I don't think that the bad parts of Rebels are his fault. Not at all.
I'm just reading the comments, and people are saying that this is a lost art in terms of animation because it's too expensive.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it can.
To do it.
I'm hoping that technology advances to a point where they can replicate, like, how Cuphead looked. I know that was hand animated, that video game.
Awesome. Yeah, that game's rad.
But I would like more stuff like that. Like, I would like a Mega Man game or a Super Mario game to look like that instead of, always trying to do 3D stuff.
I miss just that classic 2D animation, I don't even like it.
Vampire Hunter D Ninja Scroll type. That was some good animation. You guys remember about Vampire Hunter D?
Never even heard of it.
Yeah. Oh, you should check it out. Do you remember that, Mike?
I know what it is. I just never saw it.
Do you remember Ninja Scroll?
I never watched that either.
Oh my God, you guys! It's like this, but the detail level goes up. Like very, very high detail. This type of animation, but very, very high detail.
Well, do you watch Naruto?
It's way higher detail. It's way.
No. I'm just saying. There's I
used to.
There's multiple teams doing Naruto because it's like so long. But there's like one particular director, and I don't even know what his name is, but he does most of the like major fight scenes.
But are we talking Shippuden or are we talking Naruto?
Yeah,
Shippuden. Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
I like that. I like
Naruto
that.
and Sasuke and stuff.
I like that.
So fantastic.
I like that. I like anime. I have a very varied likes when it comes to all this stuff, which is why I believe in crossing the streams and hitting these giant evil marshmallows where where they hurt in the pocket. You like that the Ghostbusters reference, right?
I really do. These giant marshmallows,
giant evil marshmallows.
Well, the thing is, you're ripping into them, but you're doing it in the most wholesome way. It's not like you're saying, "Oh, these assholes." No, these giant marshmallows.
Well, it's pretty much what they are. I mean, they're so soft that they think everything in the world has made them a victim. I can't. He's like, "Oh, your words are an assault on me." Well, you must be softer than a marshmallow. I mean, really, they didn't touch you. It's just a little bit of audio.
Center of the marshmallow.
I'm also a bit of a foodie.
I love. Same here.
You throw a little bit of that in the cocoa, and it makes it makes it great. A little bit of s'mores. You know what I'm talking about.
You guys have all seen Akira, though, right?
Oh, yes.
I've read the first collection of the story, but I've never seen the whole movie. I mean, I've seen clips of it and stuff like that. I know what the story is.
Oh, it is like the masterpiece of anime. I mean, I saw that in theaters in 1989. I still have the T-shirt.
Now, I like anime and all that stuff, or in anime and manga, but the only anime that I've actually purchased is like Lupin the Third or Golgo 13 stuff, because that's the kind of story I enjoy. Spy, international, that kind of stuff. I'm not against fantasy or high art stuff like that, but I always go for the dark, pretty, realistic stuff in terms of like tone.
Well, I would go with Ghost in the Shell in that case. Ghost in the Shell is the movie was, but if you watch the anime is excellent. The series is pretty good too. It goes into a lot of political intrigue because you see, the history of Japan is like, well, they followed these ideologies that they got.
People are saying Akira is overrated, dude. That came out in the freaking 80s.
Well, I don't think it's overrated, but
I don't think so.
People are gonna disagree.
Whatever.
It's okay.
You'll be right.
You can hold this perspective. It's okay for you to be wrong, and I forgive you for it. I think it's good. I think I don't overrated, underrated. I'm not really that well versed on how these. What's the rating? Like what is the top 10 anime movies? The most common list, right? I'm not really well versed in that, but as far as me, I like high detail. Like I'm a person that likes Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri. I like Greg Capullo. So that's kind of my jam. So when I'm looking at anime, I'm looking at Ghost in the Shell, Ninja Scroll. I'm looking at that's kind of like the things I like. The newer Gundams, they have some high detail.
Yeah. Films where they were still back drawing 24 individual frames per second rather than cutting down to like 8.
I think there's a technology where you could do it digitally and just move them a little bit and break it up a little bit. They say this type of animation can't be done anymore, and I'm like, there must be a way, because there's always these people, there's not enough resources, so don't have kids. But no, I mean, life finds a way. There's creative people that find easier ways to do it, cheaper ways to do it, new ways to do it, that just cuts down budgets and cuts down the work that it takes by leaps and bounds. And you can't predict that, which is why, you have to have an open mind for this thing. These kind of like nihilistic views, are no good. We need to have a little hope, and that's what this is about. And I hope in my heart that you've backed Lone Star, and that you have joined the Patreon that our friend Jeff has here, that our friend Ivan has here, and you back him up, because what you're seeing here is the power that your pocket has, the power that the fans have, that the passion has, and these people in controlling these companies, they ain't got no passion, they ain't got no heart. So you put your money where the heart is. You put your money with Lone Star. You put your money with Ivan, and you put your money with world-class bullshitters, and tell them that you support independent projects. You support fan edits and that passion and fan filmmaking, and that you support honest reviewers.
Yeah. Hey, I'm $5 away from 32,000.
So let's go. Let's do it. I mean, I'm sure that when Jeff comes out with his Indiegogo comic, I'm sure Mike is going to be right there with you on the live stream talking comics, right?
I'll help as much as I can. I mean, he's going to help himself a lot more than I can help.
yeah. But
you know what? Dude, I've been doing this for 26 years. If you need any pointers or suggestions or artists or colorists or letterer, whatever, I'm here.
Techniques.
The thing is, I'm gonna pay a colorist. I'm gonna pay somebody that's Marvel or DC level to color the book, because I could draw well enough that it's gonna convey it. I've had paid work and stuff. Plus, I really want to do it myself for the fun aspect of it. But when it comes to coloring, I know dick about coloring, so I'm gonna pay whoever it is to color it.
Well, there are people that are just pushed out and marginalized. I mean, we can talk a little bit about. We have people. I can't go into specifics because, like I said, I'm a fan. But there's people that if you just say, "Hey, I hope things go well. I want America to be great," this kinds of thing, they take offense to it. They think it means all these things that it doesn't, and they start marginalizing people, pushing them out. And I'm sure there's colorists in that in that group
Oh,
that
yeah.
have
I
been
know one
pushed
that just
out.
lost the gig because even though he kept it secret what his politics were, somebody found out and told his penciler, and his penciler said he wouldn't work with him.
So that's that kind of political
That's
persecution is the kind of thing that just makes me angry. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I understand that the left was about stopping endless war, stopping victimless crime. So I can understand that. I have my center of a little bit left views. So I understand why a lot of people had, you know, had a good heart when they went into this. But it's just gotten full of extremists, and the extremists start with a persecution. So, you know, you can't have that. You can't have that on either side. And that's why I want to support these people. Networking is important. And if you know like a colorist that needs a little bit of backup, you know, you hook them up with our friend Jeff here.
Yeah, no worries, man. I got you.
Yeah. Now,
Excellent.
I don't know his story, but I don't care his politics. If the work speaks for itself, that's all I care about. That's all I'm worried about, man.
Exactly.
As long as he's not out there making jokes about raping babies, you know.
Yeah, there's a line, but that's crossing it for sure. But I'm just saying, like, I don't care who he supports politically. If he's good enough to be working professionally, then he's good enough to be coloring our book. So
There you go.
I just want to buy it. I'm a fan. You know, I'm trying to be the hype man. You know, like, yeah, go get it.
You're a Flavor Flav, but a lot classier. So
okay, I ain't that dark, but I'll take it.
Now, real quick, do you have any more of these to show, or do you want me to roll through the super chats, or what?
Go through the super chats, and I'll see if I can find how much time do we have?
I think we got enough time for one more because I got to be back on at 9 p.m., which is 2 hours from now for the Clone Wars, watch party. Because the person that's joining me can only be on for the exact time that the Clone Wars is. So I just want to make sure I give that the time.
Actually, guys, I'm gonna.
You're gonna dip out?
I have to. There's a there's a little thing that I needed to do, and I thought like this has been so much fun, and I was like, oh man, oh yeah, I need to go and visit my friend at the hospital. What time is? Oh so.
Can you still make it?
Oh yeah, totally. I just
okay. We understand, and I really want to. I kind of called Ivan out of the blue. I gotta confess, I was like, "Help me Ivan won." I was like,
I'm checking your stuff out after this, Ivan. Looks rad.
Thank you so much. And guys, again, it's been an absolute pleasure. Whenever you guys want to do this again, it's my honor, definitely, to be amongst you gentlemen. So thank you so much.
Ivan, thanks always. Hey, you talked about editing something. I might have a couple questions for you that you can help me on something. So
no, I gotta tell you, he's a Jedi at this. I'm telling you, Ivan 1 can edit. He's excellent.
All right, Ivan, you could take care of business, dude, and just you know how to contact me. So
yeah, just reply.
I will.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Thanks. So JSP said Vampire Hunter D and Ninja Scroll are classics. So I've written those down, and I'm gonna check them out. If they're on Crunchyroll or the Funimation app, I have access to that, so I'm gonna go check those out if they are.
I got that VRV because it has everything.
I used to want to do a spoof comic called Ninja Squirrel based on Ninja Scroll.
Well, Ninja Scroll it's R-rated. This is not for kids. Ninja Scroll is
Squirrel would be.
Wait,
is that the one where the people are getting all cut up and it's like real violent?
There's this guy that's Rock, and there's this girl ninja, and he's all over her, and he's like, and oh man, I don't know how to describe it in a way that doesn't tell you too much about the story. It's just good. It's just you like, okay, you've been picking up what I've been putting down. You're like, yeah, this I can get behind. These are good recommendations.
It has rape in it.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to,
Oh, I've seen the movie. There's a movie, right? No, I've seen. No, I'm looking up. I'm looking up screenshots right now. I've seen this. This is violent as shit. Yeah, I've seen this for sure.
Yeah. So I didn't want to get into that part of it, but then you know what I'm talking about, that rock monster and all that stuff. And that and if you like that animation, you'll like Vampire Hunter D because it's that level of quality. I would put them on par, or maybe Vampire Hunter D a little higher.
New Type says go watch Samurai X, and I concur. Samurai X is freaking rad.
Logan Michael.
Samurai X, it's just it had a great story and a movement.
It's Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, I like Rurouni Kenshin. Samurai X, it was good. I didn't see all of it because I haven't gotten into it in a long time. But what I did see, I liked. It was the Batosai, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a blade that had the
blade is on the backside.
Yeah. I remember that. I had this fond memories. I was very into anime. I kind of fell off. But I got back on with. I try to catch everything that's Ghost in the Shell just because I love political intrigue and it's very political. Not specific to our time because this is at a point in the future, but like how government works and how they sometimes back deals and how sometimes corruptions work in different departments. It goes into that kind of thing. It's basically Ghost in the Shell is basically a SWAT team. That's basically what it is. It's a SWAT team of cyborgs, people that are either part human or just completely cyborg with a human brain put in there.
And he used a lot of 3D animation mixed into it too.
Yeah,
This is Vampire Hunter.
I don't really like that. I mean, I understand the need for it, but
on which one do you mean?
It kind of irritates me. It's like when you saw that carriage in Beauty and the Beast, and it was like this smooth, clean animation, and everything else is like, hand drawn. You're like, it just doesn't feel right.
I think the worst ones are on Family Guy when their cars drive and they look like a computer graphic, and then the characters look normal. That always throws me off.
I like Family Guy a little bit. They get into it sometimes. They were the first to out Kevin Spacey. Do you remember that episode?
No.
Oh yes. Google Family Guy Kevin Spacey. And you're going to see something that you're going to go, oh my God, they knew. They knew something.
Cesaro Japan says, we need a world-class bullshitters anime watch party stat.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can get behind that completely.
Well, I guess the thing is, if we're going to have it, I'm going to have you guys back on because you guys have such a wide knowledge of this stuff.
I wouldn't consider myself a connoisseur, but I would definitely.
You know more than I do, unless you want me to talk about Golgo 13 never missing a shot, except when he does that one time, or I've seen Dragon Ball Z. I've seen the normal shit that everybody else has seen. I like animation in general. I really, just buy into whatever. American, Japanese. Yeah.
Mr. Immortal says Trigun's awesome. He's freaking right. Trigun is
Trigun. Oh my God.
Wasn't that Vash the Stampede or whatever it's called?
Yeah, Vash the Stampede. Cowboy Bebop too.
Def. Yeah, let's see sometime. Figure it out. You guys figure it out. I'll be here.
Cool. Awesome. Family Guy, or not Family Guy. David Wheeler says, Jeff, thanks for mentioning my vet live stream to Rod. I was hoping to have him on there when we do it. And thank you, Rod, for putting this together.
Hey, it's a pleasure. I mean, this has been a joy for me to bring this to you because I just love this stuff. And you know how nerds get. Hey, I love this stuff. You want to love this stuff with me?
You got to cross the nerd streams. Cross the nerd streams.
Yeah, let's get these marshmallows.
Astro Panda said, Red Line Through, not a great movie, has some crazy animation. Took 9 years to make it all hand-drawn. Wow, 9 years to get something done. I couldn't do that.
Somebody earlier mentioned Watership Down, and yeah, I got to agree. That's got some crazy good animation in it.
Zaire asked, Jeff, will you do a live draw stream like EVS does? If I can figure out, because I do mine digitally with a tablet, yeah, I can draw.
Oh, that's the easiest way to do it. You share your screen while you're, instead of just, this, and then you draw on your tablet.
Well, there we go. Then, yeah, I can do something like that. I haven't drawn. I know this sounds crazy to you, Mike, but I haven't drawn in like 7 months. So I really need to get back into it because I used to do it every day.
If you want to do like a group draw stream, I know Rod draws too. We can all just sit here and share our screens while we're drawing.
I'm not very good, but I do the fan art, and if I can motivate anyone to get into their fan art, I see it as a therapy. That's why the sketch therapy thing is up. Because I know, as a veteran, I got hit in the head a little bit, and sometimes I get bad headaches or just stress. And it's sometimes when you get into that pencil, you get into that paper, or into that tablet or whatever, everything else melts away for a little while, and you just have this thing that you're trying to make here, and you're shaping it and forming it in your head and trying to bring that to the image, and it just everything else goes away for a little while. And I think you guys can attest to that, right? You guys agree?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. And then finally, Escape World Show asks, "Where from Chicago you from?" Nobody here's from Chicago, man. So.
But we welcome all the Chicago fans. We want to send you a shout out and say that we love you, and we would love for you to back Lone Star and our friend Ivan, who is, he's a good guy. He's visiting a friend that's in need, and Jeff here on World Class Bullshitter. So shout out to Chicago. And is that where they're going to do the Star Wars thing?
Yeah, that's where we're going to be. I don't know exactly where we're going to be staying. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is working all that stuff out. But I have my tickets purchased. I know some of the 5-day passes have been gobbled up, so they're hard to get. But I got them for all the guys on World Class Bullshitters. Myself, Dion, Kendo, Nick, and Channel Dad Brian Lape. We're going to be there all 5 days. We're going to be hanging out with you guys. We'll be at the show. We'll be outside of the show. If there's any requests or ideas for stuff to do as a group, like, hey, let's all go to the Sears Tower or something, or whatever it's called now. Point is, if we get enough people to go do something, we'll do whatever for the 5 or 6 days that we're there. So you guys just, if you really want to meet all of us, Ivan's going to be there, Jeremy, Uncle Ihi, everybody. So,
oh my God, that's my dream. If you could ever get me on live stream with even like 5 minutes to talk to Uncle E, that's the door through which I came to all of this.
Do you really want to? Do you want to talk to him one of these days? I can help. I can make that happen, man.
One of these days, I try to be as supportive as I can, but my Twitter is fan, so it's customers, so I get into my own things about my own local problems, and sometimes I just go nuts on it because I am kind of crazy. It's part of the accident. So, sometimes I don't know if I'm going too far or I'm trying to just be myself and support stuff.
Let me tell you, he is such an easy person to talk to, and he's real fun. So, yeah, you just tell me when, and I'll see. I'll get you on like after a high council or something for a few minutes. We'll talk. And then
that would be so awesome. I'm just like a huge fan. He's brought me to all this whole new world of what's going on and all the nuance of it. What they're doing to these creators and what they're trying to do to our kids through these stories, and it's just like the crazy mentality. It just you have to understand. And I get back in the fight. I don't use physical weapons anymore, but we use spiritual weapons, words, images. Get in their minds, get in their hearts. You know what I'm talking about?
I like the way you're speaking to me right now, man. I really do. I mean it. I like this. Like I told you off air when you were talking about how you wanted to introduce us and stuff. I was like, dude, you got to say this on air. You got a way about you that you're going to present and engage these people. And a lot of people have been sticking around this entire stream. I mean, yeah, it's slowed down a bit, but I mean, we're still well over 250. So this has been a success in my eyes.
So I'm going to go into the last one then. I don't want to
lose you guys. I wanted to say something because see what I'm doing here? I have this I'm having up some of my stuff. So if you want to share that screen for a second, you guys can go to my page at Blacklist Universe and watch videos like this, or just longer form live drawing stuff. I've got some 2 and 3 hour live draws where I just shoot the crap with either Edwin Boyette or just with the chat or whatever.
Yeah, you did one with me, but it was on that Jake Skywalker piece.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got to finish that up too. Sometime in the next
I can't wait. I'm so psyched for that. I don't want to rush you because I know you got a lot of work. Oh my God, but I'm so pumped for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be.
I enjoy watching artists draw because I can try to pick up little things or subtle things that I should be trying to do to help my anatomy or perspective, stuff like that.
Yeah, I like to watch.
Yeah, I like to watch people ink too because the inking was what I was starting to really get heavily into when I stopped drawing regularly. And so I was just finally getting comfortable with it and the time it took to do these things. And I mean, I'm going to get back to it for the book proper, but
yeah, I just got a new ostrich neck for my phone, so I will be doing more inking videos as well because I used to do it a long time ago, but my kids broke my ostrich neck.
Oh.
So, but I got a new one.
Yeah, I'm just engaged by watching your the video play out right now. So. I mean, if I didn't have the thing tonight, I honestly would go get the Wacom tablet out of my other room and just get back into it. I really do miss it so much.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean,
don't let these people turn you off to it. You get back in there and you get that pen and let those worries melt away.
Well, let me tell you one thing, man. In many ways, it worked out good because look at how the channel's grown. I've put all my time and energy into this channel, and now it's a real thing, full-time gig. We're doing stuff every day, and there are, you know, tens of thousands of people that are paying attention to what we do. So I do plan on getting back into the art and stuff, but in many ways it's a positive that it happened, to me at least personally, so I could have this platform and meet you guys and do more stuff like that. So it's all been, you know,
totally.
I look at it as positive.
I haven't been able to do a whole lot of drawing since I started my channel and my Indiegogo. So it's like,
yeah, you guys get busy.
I have to
channels.
Get back more like, my wife's like, well, how are you going to do this when you're actually, you know, working on Lone Star? I'm like, oh, I'll find time. So.
Well, when I do ours, I'm going to give the fans a date, and I'm going to make the date, but I'm just going to have to do live stream and then draw, and then live stream and then draw. So I can give you guys content, and I'll give you the Patreon stuff as well, but I'll make sure I don't want to, you know, miss the window, because that would piss me off personally if I didn't do that right. So
yeah.
One more super chat from Mareth Dialine. The Joe Hogan Clone Wars Siren of Dathomir video goes well at the Clone Wars show you're going to watch tonight. Just saying, LOL. Well, Mareth Dialine, how about after I do the Clone Wars show, we're going to do the entire series at about 9 o'clock. I'll put that on and we'll talk about that. If you remind me, I'll do that just because you requested it, man.
I really want to talk to the people in the chat, the fans, all the people out there. Put those everything that you see that's good out there that we should take a look at. Make sure you put it in the comments too, so that we can remember. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of great suggestions out there, and I wanna make sure that we can keep this ball rolling.
So, Rod, what's our final one for the afternoon?
This was called Days Past. This one's 17 minutes. It's the shortest ones out of the ones I had, because I don't really have I went off the list I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, but it's good. And if you cut, you know, if you leave the credits out, it has a little bit of the thing of the emotion. This would be like what you would think of a live TV show could be. And yeah, let's go with it. It's called Days Past, a Star Wars film, and it's on Side Project Studios.
By the way, folks, Logan Michael, thanks for the stream. Have a good one. Thank you, Logan Michael, for all you've done, and I hope you catch us in just a little bit tonight for the Clone Wars. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have Trent on, and I sent a link to everyone. So if you want to watch this right along with us, it's right there in the chat for you guys.
Okay.
And Yakov, as well as everyone, you can leave suggestions in the actual comments section of this video, or you can email us, worldclassbs@mail.com, and we'll find that list, and I'll send it over to Rod, and he can curate the list, and we can do part 2 of this.
Sounds excellent. I'm totally down for that. Now, this is what we're going to see here. This is more of a character piece, and this is what we're talking about, the you know, action. You don't have to have that much words, but you also have to have good words and good, and you know, good dialogue and all this kind of thing. And we're going to get a little bit into that here and see what a Star Wars TV series could be. So I'm gonna, if you guys drop the link for them, it's a Days Past, a Star Wars fan film.
I just sent it again, guys, so you don't miss it. Thank you, Ghosty Ghost, by the way, for your $10 super chat. There's no message, but as always, I appreciate it no matter what.
Bless you.
Yeah, there's been a lot of generous people today, guys. I want to tell you guys thanks. We just got the turkey suit delivered that I talked about on the show, so I got to go get the mail after the stream before I go get some dinner. The turkey suit is here. And I'll be giving it to Dion in person, and then we'll be doing the Mr. Ed stuff later on. So thank you to, oh my God, was it Rainier Angle that gave the thing? I'm Into Film gave the super chat for the turkey, and Rainier Angle gave the super chat for the Mr. Ed DVD box set. So thank you to those guys. I hope you guys hear my shout out right now.
I also want to give a shout out to Dion and to Kendo Slice and all those guys. You know, I'm a big fan. Just letting you guys know. And Cecil, I actually talked to Cecil on a live stream once. I don't know if you remember back in the day. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I do.
I do. On a live stream with you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we were looking for finding a way to cross Australians and Puerto Ricans so they could have big front and big back.
They're called.
Cecil's hilarious. By the way, Rod, if you ever want to talk to us, like the guys from the show, I can work that out too, man. All you gotta do is let
Oh,
me know
I
your
love
schedule.
that. Yeah, no, I'm down for, like I told you, I'm retired, man. I'm down for whatever, always. Oh yeah, you give me a little ring-a-ling and I'll be there, man.
You could be the president of the World Class Bullshitters fan club, man.
Sounds great. I'll be there hyping you guys up. Like, yeah, let's do this. Honest reviews. That's what we need. Yeah, saving your pocket. That's what we're about.
Yeah, a horse suit would have been better, but that's gonna happen soon. Silver's Rayleigh and Kevithar1138. Thank you very much. Missed the beginning of the stream. I got Army Vet Rod sketch therapy, but who else? Seen a lot of these. So many here making beef jerky and listening. Or so mainly here making beef jerky and listening. Well, we had Ivan Ortega, everyone's favorite editor, and we have Mike S.Miller. Correct? That's the way you go online, so people can Google your artwork. They can find you.
There's a few Mike Millers, so it's
Just a few, right?
Yeah,
it's not that common of a name.
Yeah, I had some guy back when my name was Mike Miller on YouTube. He's like, "Man, I subbed to 8 Mike Millers before I found you."
No, but it's Blacklist Universe and Abacus Mike, right?
Yeah, Abacus Mike on Twitter, the Twitter.
Yeah, but it's great work. You guys should be checking out all of his stuff. He's professional. He's great. I don't know what else to say. He's awesome.
Yeah, and if you like that game Injustice, and we'll cross the streams, get the gamers. If you liked the game Injustice and you thought it was a good game, it's also an awesome story. And a lot of that is in part due to our friend here, Mike Miller.
Yeah, I drew about a third of the entire series over the last 5 years.
So I can't believe it's been out for 5 years.
I know, right?
It was good. It was good. They did some things with the story that's just awesome. So, do I count us down?
Yeah, ready when you are, man.
All right, T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, I just love seeing A Long Time Ago.
In a galaxy. It's Alf.
This is our first puppet we get to see. This is cool.
Well, in this one, they spent most of the budget in the actors.
Fixing our air conditioner.
Well, they're probably a moisture farmer. Which, shout out to Brandon Moist.
He sent an email or a tweet telling me about his life. I'm going to read it on air on the High Council coming up so people can know about the Moist in depth.
He seems like an all-around good guy.
Yeah, I'm lucky. We got a lot of cool fans that have found this channel.
How many boxes has it ticked already? It's the United Colors of Benetton.
No, but the thing is, you know, you could tick all those boxes, and if the story ain't there, and if the acting ain't there, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of movies in the past, and there's a lot of characters in comics in the past that had ticked all those boxes, and they're trying to act like they didn't exist.
Yeah, well, like last year when everyone's like, "Oh, Wonder Woman's the first female-led superhero flick," I'm like, Supergirl came out. Yeah, it wasn't good, but it came out in 1984. That's a movie.
No, but let's look at
Bought a
Blade.
ticket for
Blade
Supergirl.
was,
I'm not gonna see the Terminator.
yeah, you know, Terminator. There's a strong woman.
Yeah.
Blade. There's a good character. He may have gone a little nuts on set, but you know what? I'm gonna forgive him.
Well, like Dion swears by Blade and Spawn, and Dion, you know, grew up and watched those characters and got into them. He didn't care about Black Panther. He thought it was preachy garbage.
I still
So very
Black Panther. It's the only Marvel film I haven't seen.
I think it's a 7 out of 10 flick. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's the best Marvel movie ever. I think it made all that money based on the
Identity
media hype. Yeah, and people buying theaters saying this is the movie we need. I'm like, guys, these movies have been around for a long time. Black, white, and every other color for leads. It's not a big deal.
It's really weird. It's like I really, really wanted to see it before it got all freaking political. And then it just soured me on it. So I'll watch it when it's on DVD.
I'll tell you,
I just really liked vampires when Blade came out. It wasn't, to me, it was a vampire movie. I always saw it that way, like a little bit more like action horror.
Oh,
I didn't know the comic existed when I saw the movie.
Yeah, I put that on the commentary. It took me a little while, even though I watched the Spider-Man cartoon where Blade was present. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. It was the same character.
Huh. Well, Wesley Snipes did make him look completely different from the comic book version.
Yeah.
And then they modeled the comic book version after Wesley Snipes.
His outfit looked cool as hell, but that leather jacket with the vest and the sword and shit, that was so cool back then.
Yeah.
Leather was very in.
Yeah. I mean, people can laugh about the X-Men costumes, but back then, it was cool.
This is where the story part comes in. And, you know, I kind of like the where this could have gone or could go if someone tried to do a series. So I think they went a little long with the editing. They could have cut a little shorter.
Yeah, especially inside of this tent.
Yeah. They did a little too much for ambiance.
It's all about the payoff, though, dude. If it pays off big, then it wasn't for naught.
The only truth is honor. Duty is tomorrow, but honor is. Finish it. You two. Good to see you again.
I feel like we're too quiet right now. Sorry, folks. This is all dialogue and story. We're not trying to bore you to death.
Yeah, this is what you know what they're talking about. You got to grow a character and their relationships.
It is nice seeing R5D4 though. Mike, have you ever drawn anything professionally for Lucasfilm, like any Star Wars comics or anything like that?
I haven't. It's funny. I was just thinking about that. It's like 26 years, and that's like probably the one property that I've never drawn.
The one notch.
What piece of work are you the proudest of? Like, if you were to look back on your entire career and say that's something I was so happy to do, what would it be?
The Hedge Knight series. It's a Duncan Egg series. It's a Game of Thrones prequel series because it's all me. I did it. I started in 2002. you know, before Game of Thrones even came out as on HBO, and then I did the second series at Marvel a few years later, and then gosh, was that last year? I just finished up the third in the series called the Mystery Knight. So it's the Hedge Knight, the Sworn Sword, and the Mystery Knight, and yeah, those. And then I do
This isn't really like a big action type thing, but I wanted to highlight the dialogue and the relationship between these guys, and because in a long story format, you kind of have to build it a little bit. So that's this one, it may not be as fast as the other ones, but it's good if you get into it. If it'll especially touch military folks because it'll speak to them because there's that relationship between people in the military, people that were when they meet again. There's a big difference between the person in the service and a person that gets out. The perspectives change, things, we don't, but there's still that respect, and it's like it's a weird thing.
Well, that's why I'm looking forward to having you on that veteran stream, because I think you have a good perspective, as well as like Joel, the guy that used to be on the show. He was in the Navy for many, many years, so I think it's going to be a really interesting hangout that a lot of people don't expect to be. It's going to blow them away, and they don't realize it yet.
No, you should get Edwin in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to whoever wants to come on.
So there's a difference between blind obedience and defending some values and some basic human rights.
That doesn't sound like a compliment.
I think you're right.
Something changed.
Again, I think the simplicity works for the setting. There are a lot of older Star Wars fan films that try to do green screen and everything every 5 seconds, and it doesn't always work.
I agree. I want to get into a little bit.
Okay.
I want to talk a little bit on the other fan films out there when this is over.
I just want to know which one shoots first.
That's the thing.
Uh-oh, it's gonna get serious now. watch. When I see the stormtroopers pop up, I'm always happy. Such a
Damn,
great
troopers.
design. I mean, Mike, as an artist, how do you feel about some of the Star Wars designs? Do you think they mostly work as timeless designs, or do you think there's some that feel dated, or what?
Gosh, you know, I watched Star Wars, the original Star Wars, and I think it just holds up really well. And it might be because they're not like super great designs, and I hate to say it like that, but you know, the freaking Star Destroyer is a triangle, and the Millennium Falcon is a hamburger with the olive on the side, right? It's like,
Yeah,
there are these simplistic silhouettes, but they just threw all this like detail on them, which makes it look just giant and complex and girthy. And somehow or another, that holds up more so than like something in one of the earlier or the prequels where they're trying to get all space age, you know. I think those hold up better over time because of the simplicity. If you get what I'm saying.
Oh, I get what you're saying 100%. I think original Star Wars stuff still looks just amazing.
Yeah.
The only thing that dates to me the first Star Wars flick are the sideburns.
You mean like on Han Solo?
Yeah, Han Solo and what's his name? Admiral Taggy, or the dude on the Death Star that comes and says, "We've analyzed their attack, sir," to Grand Moff Tarkin at the very end. He's got big old mutton chops.
They're coming back.
One thing I said to the guys on the show about Luke Skywalker's haircut is when I was in high school, I graduated in 2007. There were people that had that haircut back, like that weird shaggy Luke Skywalker dude came back for many a year. So
yeah,
that to me made Star Wars seem, you know, more contemporary again.
Yeah, it's funny because like somebody was bagging on He-Man about how he, because I was saying like, was the whole He-Man She-Ra thing, and I'm like, well, He-Man is supposed to be the ideal.
You guys don't like this one so much?
Well, it's just hard because it's so quiet.
No, they're talking. Well, they were.
Ooh, 3 sons.
Yeah. So, but the He-Man thing, I was like, dude, that was a popular haircut in the 70s. I was like, I had that haircut. Yeah, I'll probably watch that one again.
I really recommend it. I think it's one of those things that you really got to get into it. You know how sometimes we watch, we're trying to do 2 things at once. And I understand that we're in the live stream and it's kind of, you want to keep the audience engaged and all that, but I want to invite the audience to check this one out too. This is more for a person that likes a long form story, that wants to like have a snapshot in their head of how these relationships could work and where they could go, and how there's this intertwining of what the rebellion is and what the empire is.
Yeah, it's a whole universe, and you can come up with a freaking billion stories,
Exactly. Like, as a soldier, I feel like I'm an old clone Republic trooper stuck in an empire I don't understand. These things that are happening, the things that they're saying, or the things they're trying to normalize, it all just seems crazy to me.
Right. Yeah.
So let's close this thing out. So, Rod, why don't you close us out? Tell everyone about Lone Star and, how would you like to close this thing out? Because, by the way, folks, this was all Rod's idea. He had this idea for a video, live stream. I thought it turned out great. I don't know how else to say it. It turned out great. I didn't know what we were going to do before we started it, and I've been impressed the entire time. It's been a lot of fun. It's been 2.5 hours almost. And like,
oh my God, I went over a little bit. I went over by about half an hour there. That last one was a little long, but I wanted to touch on that long story format aspect of it. And just to all of you guys listening and all of you guys that will listen later, this format lends itself to anybody. You could recommend it to someone. Say, hey, you want to check out some fan films with some fun friends? Check this live stream out. Check out those movies. And this is about, you know, showing where the power is. It's in the people that are inspired and the people that are passionate. It's in the people that it's in the people that spend on this. These people, us as a fan, you know, it was all about highlighting independent projects like Ivan's fan film and like Lone Star and that project, Heart of the Hero, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, if I could do some shameless plugging, can I like scroll through some of the pages on my thing and you focus on my page?
Can you lock a screen?
Yeah, man, just turn it on.
All right, here, let me screen share. Right, so it's right here. Indiegogo, Lone Star, Heart of the Hero. Almost 32,000, although I haven't refreshed it. It might be already. So we have the cover. Cover to issue 1, cover A. I'm just going to go real quick because I know you guys want to get going. Cover B. Different tiers and stuff. And then I have a full, well, this isn't a cover. This is just a homage to the Captain America cover. And then here's just sort of a promo piece. These two are going to be available as metal prints in one of the tiers. But then I have 10 full pages you guys can check out if you want to go there. But you can just see it here now really quickly. And yeah, the first 7 are scripted. Not final dialogue. I'm going to edit a little bit of this stuff down. But yeah, if you want to get an idea of the writing, then there you go. So this is the fun page where he spanks spanks the guy a little bit. So this is the last page of this that's scripted, and then I have a couple pages here where you get introduced into the Unknown Soldiers, which is the band I was mentioning at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, please, everyone, go check it out. If you like it, I'm not forcing anybody to support it, but if you like it, please do.
Yeah, it's a good story. It's about an airman that's fighting the good fight. He's going against the Axis power. They got these super weapons and these super people that they're trying to. I believe it was the Iron Cross was the initial villain, and you know, he gets mortally wounded. He gets a little bit of a break. You know, you can make it out, but you're not going to be the same as you were. You may have a little bit of an edge, but you got to disappear. You're going to be one of the unknown soldiers. Nobody's going to know who you are. They're going to think you died. But you get to fight the things that go bump in the night. And this guy, he can't sit still. He can't wait for that call. You know, we got to call. No, he's got to do something. And he goes out there in the night and not just goes against the things that go bump in the night. They go against the people that are evil. And, you know, I think it's a good old hero story. And I completely wanna, you know, just highlight that we're about good storytelling. And that's what this channel is about. Good storytelling, things that are done right, and treating the fans well. You know, Mike is a great guy, family man, good man, and Jeff is always out there watching out for our pockets, making sure that we see things that are good, that we're not, you know, listening to the wrong people, and just we don't want to waste your money. We want you to see movies that are good. We know how much a date night costs. We know how much it costs to go out to the movies and all that, and that's what this is all about. I just want to give hope. That you can see that there's good things out there. You may not find it under that huge giant corporate umbrella, but there are films, fan films out there. There are projects out there, and there's people out there that you can support, like my man Mike over here, like Jeff, and like Ivan Ortega, who isn't with us right now, but he was with us earlier, and he'll probably be around. I like to call him Ivan One Can Edit because he can edit. He can edit. He's a good editor. He's done wonderful, wonderful things. And if you like to get into a little bit of that Premiere, or maybe you're just looking at how all this stuff works, he does a little bit of a little bit of tutorials of not only how to do these things on Adobe Premiere, but why and when is it necessary. So check him out. Check out the Carbonite chat, which is where I get my inspiration from this. You know, I have to give it to him. He's the one that got me trying to tie all these things together. And I was like, I'm just, as a fan, like I said, some of us, yeah, we watch movies, but we also read comics and we also play games. So, and a shout out to Geeks and Gamers. I want Jeremy to know that whenever he gets in on that Titanfall, I'm going to give him a whooping. I think he's a great guy. But you can see the way I play in my channel. So, I'm not lying. And, just shout out to him, great channel. I want you guys to check out Geeks and Gamers too. Shout out to that Star Wars girl. She's on that crew. Jesse Milestone. And, just all those guys, great people out there watching out for our pockets. Make sure those honest reviews get out there. And yeah, take it away, Jeff. This is you're the boss here.
Dude, that was a perfect outro, and I agree with all the stuff you're saying. So listen to Rod. Check out all those channels that were mentioned. Support, support what you believe in. And I'm not even going to try to regurgitate what Rod said because he did it right the first time. So, folks, thanks to everyone who stuck with us the entire time. We had a really great turnout. Thanks to everyone who got involved in the chat. Thank you, Rod. Thank you, Mike. And, folks, I'm going to be back really soon in like an hour and 20 minutes. And we're going to be doing the entire Clone Wars 2003 series. It's here on YouTube. I'm going to be sharing the links. We'll have a timestamp, so if you're late, you can join the party. We're going to do the entire thing. We're going to talk about Star Wars Episode 9 news and rumors and all kinds of stuff like that. It's just a Saturday night Star Wars hangout with all the current information, and we can finally knock off something else from the channel. We've covered the original trilogy. We've covered the prequels on Patreon, and now we're going to cover the Clone Wars here on YouTube for you guys. So be back in an hour and now 19 minutes at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do it right. So, folks, thank you for everyone who stuck with us, and see you soon.
Thanks, guys.